And they're a solid company.
With Endurance, your car repair costs go way down, while your car's life expectancy goes way up, allowing you to drive more and pay less.
Something is going to break down. Make Endurance pay for it.
They covered a $14,000 engine replacement.
So, who's going to pay for your next car repair? You or Endurance?
Whether you put 10,000 or 100,000 miles a year on your car, if it's less than 20 years old, Endurance has you covered with unlimited miles. Plus, your plan covers 24/7 roadside assistance anywhere in the country. Call right now to get $300 off any plan, plus a full year of our top-tier elite benefits, a $2,000 value free. And all Endurance plans come with a 30-day money-back guarantee. But you have to act now. Call 1-833-608-4174 for a free quote. That's 1-833-608-4174.
Well, another great press conference briefing from the Pentagon today, cutting through the noise, talking to the American people about what's happening in Iran.
You know, it was a very informative press conference. And I also like the comparison in terms of the legacy media to the Pharisees.
That was brilliant.
They weren't really focused on the miracle, the successes, but actually trying to stick to their own.
Find answers to life's biggest questions with pastor and author Bayless Conley. Tuesday, Saturday, and Sunday on theDove TV. Good morning. You're tuned to theDove, encouraging and informative, helping Oregon, Northern California, Idaho, and Nevada start the day with news and encouragement. This is Mornings on theDove.
Well, good morning to you. Happy Thursday. Look who we found in the parking lot.
I'm back. All right.
Jerry Bilden is back. It's amazing with 2 days off.
Yeah.
To him.
And I didn't forget my way or anything.
No, you didn't.
Although it's cold out there. Oh, my goodness.
About 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, I woke up, and it was the Orchard fans and the Vineyard fans going off.
No kidding.
You could hear them whopping out there.
No kidding. Oh, okay. Well, it makes sense.
Yeah.
It was that cold.
Well, somewhere between 30 and 36 degrees in some of the areas around here, and you had snow on your bridge.
I had snow on my bridge, yep.
So, and we have a story coming up here of a winter storm there in the Cascades that's anywhere from 12 to 20 inches.
Right. We're hearing, look out for the passes and check it all out before, it's another tripcheck.com kind of day.
Anybody tell the weatherman this is April 16th?
Leave the weatherman alone.
Yeah. Wow. Anyway, good morning to you. Happy Thursday. A lot going on in the news. There always is. However, we are entering into a little bit of a dry zone here. Don't see much rain for the next several days.
Okay.
But,
I got to tell you, it's okay because the weeds in my yard, they're like getting out of control right now. I haven't been able to get to them. It's been too wet.
You sit on your lawnmower and you can't see nothing but green.
Yeah. Yeah,
they're right here at your eye level.
I'm going to have to put a bag over my leg.
Yeah, there you go.
Because there's going to be so much clippings flying around.
There you go.
All right.
Good morning to you. Happy Thursday, better known as Friday Eve. What do you got going?
Well, putting a bag over my leg is kind of a healthcare decision, and today is National Healthcare Decisions Day. Yeah. And, we have a lot of healthcare decisions that we have to make in our life. I know all about it, and I'm sure you do as well. And it's also National Bean Counter Day, every accountant's favorite day of the year, and I hope your health care decisions are not determined by your bean counter. Unfortunately, that can happen. I just can't afford that deal.
Bean counters are they're very special people.
Yes. Yeah, they really are.
I'll call them special.
Okay, now let's open this up to a new dimension. National Healthcare Decisions Day and Bean Counter Day. How about for our pets? How much health care do you provide? How much money do you spend on a pet before you decide this is too much?
I know you're in that decision.
Yes, I am. Yes.
I know that you have a long drive home and a long drive back.
Right. We got old Champ boys going in for surgery today, and so it's like, how much do you spend? It was like, well, we decided, well, it's not too much. Champ's worth it, but you have to weigh these things out too, because.
So you say to the surgeon operating on your dog, "Give me $300 worth." So he gets in there and he's run out of $300, and then he just leaves the dog?
No, here's what I said. I went in. I said, okay, you're charging that much for the dog. Can you take me too and do two for one? Two for one. Because he's working on. He's got a bum paw, so they got to operate on it. We kind of look like Mutt and Jeff, you know. But anyway, so National.
I just think, you know, But on the other hand, if he gets in there and you gave him a $300 limit.
Well,
and he says, "Well, I'm in at $300. I guess I'm done." And the dog's sitting there, you know, laid out on the anesthesia.
Here we go. Take me home.
Tool still stuck in his leg. What do you do with this?
You spend more. That's what you do. So anyway, it's also National Orchid Day. A beautiful flower with thousands of varieties, and something that some people are good at taking care of and others are not so good at taking care of. I think the biggest problem with orchids is people overwater them.
Yeah, this one in our little window over here.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's doing great. It gets just right on sunlight. And it's still there.
All right, not too much water.
And don't touch them. Leave them alone.
Yes. Absolutely. Just enjoy them. Yeah. Right. Okay. It's also National Banana Day, focusing on the nutrition of the fruit as well as the way that comedy has used banana in acts. And you can always tell, especially in an old movie, if you see a banana peel on the floor, you know what's going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So enjoy your banana and then have Eggs Benedict. It's National Eggs Benedict Day. It celebrates the favored breakfast or brunch dish, and it consists of poached eggs with hollandaise sauce, Canadian bacon or ham on an English muffin half.
Yes.
Oh, that looks wonderful, and it is what's for breakfast.
All right.
What a wonderful deal. Okay. And while you're doing that, keep wearing your pajamas, because it is National Wear Your Pajamas to Work Day.
Just go to Walmart.
Pajamas are more than just bedtime attire. They're a versatile fashion statement. And the term pajamas derives from the Persian word which translates to leg garment in English. It was introduced to the Western world during the British colonization of India. And they have a rich and intriguing history worth exploring, from their ancient origins to modern fashion day trends.
Oh, we're seeing a time capsule from
Yes, we're watching them. Yeah, check it out.
I wonder where this is going.
I had to watch it to the end, Barry, because I had to make sure. Right. I had to make sure. I had one that I couldn't show.
Okay.
Yeah, because sometimes people sleep a little bit more risque than we can show.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is pretty cool, and it kind of shows that pajamas have changed from kind of the formal pajamas, and now we're wearing like PJ bottoms and T-shirt tops.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that going on.
Yeah.
Hey, if you doubt it, just go to Walmart.
Just go to Walmart.
And I have also looked at videos about, is it proper to wear pajamas in public? And this is a big controversial topic these days, and there are some people who just are emphatically no. That is like that is a faux pas. You do not do that.
Yeah.
But you go out, you see it all the time. I just traveled. On airlines.
Yeah.
Remember people used to dress up to get on airlines? People are in their T-shirts and pajama bottoms on an airline.
And think of it this way.
What?
They got out of bed, they did not take a shower, and they just went to the airport.
Thank you very much. And they're sitting next to me.
Yeah.
No. Okay. Anyway, it's good to be back, by the way.
They're good. Yeah, welcome back. Good to see you.
Thanks.
All right, good stuff. Well, listen, here's a guy that's still buying green bananas.
A look at our forecast from Grange Co-op. Today in northern Oregon and southern Washington, partly sunny with a chance of showers and high temperatures near 56 for Vancouver, Portland, Wilsonville, and McMinnville, with temperatures dropping into the upper 30s tonight. Moving down the Willamette Valley with partly sunny skies and a chance of showers with highs in the mid-50s for Salem, Albany, Corvallis, and Eugene, with mid-30s and patchy frost and fog tonight. Sunny to mostly sunny skies today across central Oregon with highs near 50 in Prineville and mid-40s for Bend and Sun River. Mostly sunny in Boise, Idaho, then a chance of rain and snow and breezy in mid-40s. Along the Oregon coast, a chance of showers early, then partly sunny and mid-50s for Coos Bay and Port Orford. Sunny and breezy in Brookings and Crescent City, California, with highs in the low to mid-50s. In southern Oregon, widespread frost this morning in the Rogue Valley, otherwise mostly sunny and low to mid-50s for Grants Pass, Medford, and Ashland. Sunny in Klamath Falls with a high near 49. Into northern California, widespread frost and sunny and near 53 around Wairika. Sunny skies from Redding through Chico and Sacramento with high temperatures near 67 and a gusty southwest wind this afternoon. Sunny skies across the Bay Area today with daytime highs near 71 in Santa Rosa, near 68 and breezy in Napa. San Francisco will see a high near 70 and near 70 in San Jose with a gusty northwest wind. It's a snapshot of your Thursday weather from Grange Co-op.
All right, there you go. Picture of our backyard this morning, and we do have some remaining high clouds, but it is cold out there this morning.
Yes.
Be careful. There's ice, some snow around the hills.
Yeah.
Kind of interesting. Wow.
Yeah, be careful. All right. Well, here is Dr. David Jeremiah, and he wants you to be encouraged. Why? Listen to this.
And the Bible explains to us what this means in Ephesians chapter 1, where we read that God raised Jesus from the dead and seated him at his right hand in the heavenly places, far above all principality and power and might and dominion, and every name that is named, not only in this age, but also in the age which is to come. And he has put all things under his feet, and gave him to be head over all things to the church, which is his body, the fullness of him who fills all and in all. The Bible says that Jesus is in heaven. Set your affection on things above. Here's something we need to consider this week. Seated at the right hand of the Father is Jesus Christ, who is in charge of everything. He's in control. The Bible says everything in heaven and everything on earth, everything in the age to come and everything in the current age, he's in control. Say that with me. He is in control. Now, it's a good thing to think about that, isn't it? When everything else is out of control, set your affection on the one who is in control. That's a wonderful thought, isn't it? And I know that if I set my affection on him, he'll show me what to do, and he'll help me know how to make good decisions as we go through this very confusing time of chaos.
There you go.
Yeah.
Very good. All right, good morning to you. Happy Wednesday. Let's check out some of the headlines this morning. Kind of interesting, some of the things that are going on. In the midst of all the things happening in the Middle East, and in particular what's happening at the Strait of Hormuz, the president is putting together a trip to China where they're going to have a state meeting between China and the United States. Well, in the meantime, this is kind of interesting. The Europeans weigh in and say, they are formally rooting for President Trump when he travels to Beijing for the state visit in mid-May to discuss relationships with China. They say, quote, as regards to the relationship with China, we share many of the concerns that the U.S. is including in the imbalance in our trade relationship, including China's industrial overcapacities and non-market policies and practices, including China's attempting to use the dependency, for example, on critical minerals like rare earth supplies as a leverage, as a choke point. Well, here's what's kind of interesting about this. So the president's going to go to China. Now, you got to remember, Xi and him had a relationship during the first time Trump was president. He actually came to Mar-a-Lago.
Oh, yeah, right.
Well, China's now got a really big problem, and that is they're not getting their oil from the Strait. And so there's a chokehold on China through all in the middle of this. They're going to use rare earth materials now to maybe leverage their way back into power or whatever. And the president's going to go over there, and they're going to have a talk. You kind of wonder what is on the agenda.
Yeah.
You know, and the interesting thing about China, look, China's got a lot of issues that we should be worried about. But they can change the value of their currency by just picking up the phone. They can change their currency. So But it only means that only affects trading, in and out of the country and what they charge for it and all this and that. So anyway, the president's going to go to China in the middle of what's going on in the Middle East, which is interesting. In the meantime, back to the Middle East, Pakistan has, been the host of these so-called peace talks. Well, there are Pakistan mediators still wanting to put this back together. There's rumors that they could come back to the table as early as this weekend.
Oh.
Now, Caroline Leavitt, the press secretary at the White House, spoke about Pakistan extending an invitation to come back together.
We've remained very much engaged in these negotiations, in these talks. You heard from the Vice President directly and the President this week that these conversations are productive and ongoing, and that's where we are right now. I've also seen some reporting about the potentiality for in-person discussions again. Those discussions are being had, but nothing is official until you hear it from us here at the White House. But we feel good about the prospects of a deal. The President mentioned that in his interview yesterday, and it's obviously in the best interest of Iran to meet the president's demands. I think he's made his red lines in these negotiations very clear to the other side, and so we are continuing to see how these conversations go. The Pakistanis have been incredible mediators throughout this process, and we really appreciate their friendship and their efforts to bring this deal to a close. So they are the only mediator in this negotiation. While there have been many countries around the world who want to offer their help, the president feels it's important to continue to streamline this communication through the Pakistanis, and so that's what continues to take place.
Which is really an interesting twist. So Pakistan has really been kind of the broker here. And since they've been having talks, they've been interesting. Now all the other countries want to get involved. And basically Pakistan and the United States say, have a nice day. Where were you when we needed you? We'll just take care of this ourselves. So we'll see if they get together. There is a lot of talk because the blockade is working so well that Iran is really in trouble, and they're thinking about, do we come back to the table?
Yeah.
Well, the red lines are still the red lines.
Yeah.
And I don't know, one of the questions that remains in my head is, okay, how does the United States get what uranium is left, especially the uranium that has been enriched? Where is it, and how do you get it, and how do you extract it?
Yeah, good question.
So I don't know. But that is the stumbling block.
Yeah.
A few ships are getting through the straits. Set of 130 a day, they're down to like maybe 6 to 8 a day. It's been said over the last 24 hours that Iran was sneaking out oil out of a back port. Up to 20 million barrels went out the back door. I'm not even sure how that works or where it goes.
Yeah.
So there's somebody still in charge. I think our intelligence, Israel intelligence, we know where all these people are. The question is, what do we do?
Yeah. And is the reason that Xi and Trump are going to meet again because of the blockade? Are any Chinese ships, any of these ships that are being allowed through? Because we know that they're relying on a lot of Iranian oil.
No, they're not.
This affects them.
They're not getting through.
Okay.
But you got to remember that this state visit was on the books before the war broke out in Iran. And I think that, again, China being China and trade being what it is, I think the president's trying to reset things. And so the war and the blockade of oil not getting to China, it just adds to the agenda big time. Okay, back to Israel, still in the Middle East. They keep attacking, Israeli military is striking Hezbollah locations inside of Lebanon, and I understand this is the largest attack ever, and the strike hit unusually broad layers of Hezbollah middle ranks locations across the area, and they have done enormous damage to Hezbollah. I don't know what remains. In the meantime, Lebanon and Israel want to have peace talks. So it looks like what Israel is doing to Lebanon is what the United States is doing to Iran. You take out the regime, and the people want to get on with their lives. So we'll see how this goes, but apparently they're looking to do this. And so this will be very, very interesting if Lebanon and Israel are able to come up with some kind of a mutual agreement. You are your people, we are our people. the problem, which is Hezbollah, somehow gets extracted. So we'll see how that goes. So those are some of the top stories today. We'll keep you posted on other things coming up as that happens. And I know you like baseball.
Yeah, where are you going? What's going on?
You want me to go away from the Yanks?
Do I want to what?
Want me to walk away from the Yankees? I mean, not talk about them?
No, I want you to talk about. We can always talk about the Yankees. What do you have on your mind?
Well, how are they doing?
Mediocre.
I'm just giving you the door to exit.
It's early, though. We beat the Angels last night, even though Mike Trout hit another home run. We've had an entertaining series going on between some of the best baseball players on the planet, especially Aaron Judge and Mike Trout for the Angels. And they really, truly admire each other. It's really fun to watch two great any players in any sport who are playing against each other who really respect each other. And you watch one hit a home run and the other one's out in the outfield watching it, smiling, going, oh, man. It's really cool. But anyway, what about the Yankees?
Okay. Well, I'll tell you about it when we come back.
Okay. Okay.
Since 1934, Grange Co-op has been more than just a store. We've been a cornerstone of our community, owned by people like you. We proudly offer top-quality farm and ranch supplies, including our own Rogue feed, as well as workwear, Western apparel, garden essentials, and pet care products. By signing up as a Grange Rewards customer, you not only enjoy exclusive benefits like special offers and 1% back on most purchases, but you also become part of something bigger, a cooperative that you own and help shape. Join Grange Rewards today.
Combining your home and auto insurance could save you time and money. And who doesn't like that? Want surprisingly great rates on auto, home, and life? Now's the time to call State Farm agent Rory Wold in Medford.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
In a time when our culture faces unprecedented challenges,
I want to talk about the role of a Christian even in a hostile culture.
Christian apologist and evangelist Alex McFarland addresses the hard-hitting questions about faith, morality, and culture.
People are hungry for truth, and we've got to rise to the challenge of our assignment as the church.
Know your faith better to be equipped to defend it in a world searching for answers.
But when you put the face of an earthly man on God, then you're never going to understand who God is.
God takes pleasure in you, and the very sight of you is joy and blessing.
Alex McFarland, inspiring believers through apologetics to boldly stand for truth in a critical time. Catch him Tuesday, Saturday, and Sunday on the Dove TV, encouraging and informative. More at thedove.us.
Okay, welcome back. 20 minutes now past the hour on a beautiful Thursday morning, better known as Friday Eve, and it is chilly out there. We have some ice in some areas. We got some snow at lower elevations, and the orchard and vineyard fans are going like crazy. They start whopping early in the night. You know?
Well, it makes sense. It's that cold, yeah.
So, anyway, so baseball.
Okay.
I'm not going to say anything about the Yankees. I don't dare. First of all, I don't follow like you guys do.
Okay.
I don't follow the players. However, Harry and David Field right here in Medford could be the potential site for a minor league baseball stadium.
What?
Yes, right here in our own backyard.
Really?
Wednesday night, the Medford Urban Renewal Agency will consider allocating money to conduct a study analyzing the cost and design process for the purpose of a stadium at different locations, perhaps and Harry and David's on the consideration list.
Okay.
So apparently, the Eugene Emeralds, who are looking for a new home, not fit at their current place in Eugene, isn't fitting for a major league baseball standard. Doesn't meet the standards or minor league standards.
Mm-hmm.
So they're looking down here. All right, here's the problem.
Okay.
Do you remember we just had this big measure on the ballot to redo downtown Medford, which would include a baseball diamond at Hawthorne Park.
Yep.
Okay. Ta-da!
What?
Got a problem.
What?
Well, that's where the city wants it to go.
Uh-huh.
The Emeralds are looking for a place now, and there sits Harry and David, which could be easily modified.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So here's the problem. A new stadium estimated at Hawthorne Park would be $60 million.
Oh.
To redo Harry and David and get everything reworked over there so in time would be 20.
Okay.
So you got the Urban League and the city council not quite getting along at
It's
the moment.
National Bean Counter Day today. There's some interesting bean differences there.
So are we going to spend 60 when 20 solves the problem?
I don't know why we would.
Are we spending $4.3 million to fix a $350 million? No, $4.3 billion.
Oh, of course you're going to bring that in.
To fix a $350 million problem?
Yeah. Oh, man.
Now, I have some comments about the whole downtown Medford thing, but this seems to me, if we had a chance to get a minor league team here to be their home place, this is like a duh.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
So that's what's going on there. We'll let that stay. I'm sure I'll be getting emails from both sides.
Okay, let me ask you one last question. Which minor league team? Which organization? Who could we lure down here?
Well, I don't know if it's the one from Eugene.
Is it the Emeralds? Are they an official minor league team, or are they just an independent affiliate?
You need to ask Jerry Bilden that.
Okay, I'm going to look it up.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. I don't know. This is going to be an interesting battle because anyway, I could really go off on this, but I'll leave it alone. I just don't need the headache. Okay.
All right.
All right, so back to our area here. The winter storm is bringing heavy snow and heavy winds to the Cascades right on through until later tonight. And the snow level is way down at lower levels. And like you said, a lot of the mountain passes. If you're doing some traveling, don't take it for granted.
Right.
This is a serious storm out there, and it's producing.
You know, we have waited all winter for winter to come, and it's here now that it's spring. Yeah. So, yeah, be careful out there. By all means, yeah.
All right, let's take a look at the satellite image. Here's what's going on out there. And we do have a system that came through. It's over the top of us now, moving on. Behind it looks pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
We actually look like we're going to head through the weekend and be pretty nice.
Yeah, until Monday. And then a chance of showers on Monday through Wednesday. But, you know, it'll be on and off. Temperatures back in the 50s. And all in all, a little winter-like out there, but it's springtime.
Yep.
In the Pacific Northwest.
Yes.
Hang on, it'll change.
Yeah.
It's coming our way.
Wait 15 minutes.
All right. Well, Representative Carlos Jimenez from Florida joined Fox Business's Varney and Company to weigh in on President Trump's reported exchange with China's Xi Jinping, warning against trusting Beijing's claims on Iran. Let's listen in.
I want to get your take on China and how this shift in oil, particularly because of Iran, particularly because of Venezuela and what you've done, even your comments on Cuba.
He's somebody that needs oil. We don't. He's somebody I get along with very well. He just wrote me a beautiful letter. He responded to a letter that I wrote because I had heard that China is giving weapons to, I mean, you're seeing it all over the place, to Iran, that China's
giving weapons. Did he say he's giving them?
Yeah, and I wrote him a letter asking him not to do that. And he wrote me a letter saying that essentially he's not doing that.
Well, I expect them to be frank conversations about our differences and where we could cooperate. Frankly, the Chinese sending me a letter saying that they're not giving arms to Iran. I don't believe that for a second. You know, I got to verify to make sure it's true. But again, we do have a stranglehold right now on Chinese energy, since we do have this blockade in the Strait of Hormuz. So right now we've got all the cards, and China doesn't have too many. So we'll see what happens with that meeting. I don't particularly trust the Chinese in any way, shape, or form, and especially not Xi Jinping.
Okay, so we're just going from one culture to the other. I mean, you go over to Iran, they lie, cheat, steal, and promise everything, look for pauses, and still come up with no change. What can you name in our lifetime? Can you name one concession from China?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
Okay. And the concessions from the United States. When we allowed the United States corporations to go to China and set up shop at the cost of intellectual property, we put the noose around our own neck.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so a lot of that stuff has to be reversed. So we'll see what happens. That's the new line.
Yeah.
I think it ought to be a book. We'll see what happens.
We'll see.
That's the end of every conversation. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, and speaking of we'll see what happens, I want to bring up something that we don't have here, but I'd like you to hear your comment on it.
Me?
Yeah. You know,
Hi, Barry, good morning.
We've been watching.
Anything to eat? Did you bring anything to eat?
We have an audience this morning. Morning, Bear. Okay, we've been watching the things, the protests unfold, especially in Minneapolis, and the violence on the streets, really. And we had a Turning Point USA reporter, Savannah Hernandez, down there documenting and shooting B-roll, basically, of the protests. And we've all seen the video. She was attacked, especially by a family. And now 3 of the family members, and the 4th will be indicted as well. But they were finally arrested. Did you watch the incident on the street when she was attacked?
Yes, it was horrible.
She was totally blindsided by this guy.
Yeah.
He knocked her to the ground. Now, the FBI's involved in this, so I think we have some kind of sense of confidence that something will be done, because I have a feeling if we were relying on local authorities in Minneapolis, not that law enforcement in Minneapolis is bad, but we know that those administrators, the people up above in city government and all the way up into state government, into Tim Walz, I don't have much confidence that they would go after her. Do you think that they're actually going to do something in this case?
Well, I saw that. I watched it. Let me just back up and add one more little thought to it. The people that are attacking all things Turning Point they don't care what the consequences is. Their motive is intimidation to shut Turning Point down or to put such fear in them they don't go and do anything. Such is the case with Erica. She didn't go to the Georgia rally because, quite frankly, she's had some serious threats on her life.
Of course, yes.
But the vice president went ahead anyway. Okay. So a lot of this is intimidation. To your point is that if the FBI is involved, yep, something will come of it.
Yeah.
If it was just left inside the state, no.
Yeah.
I think they just would have talked about it, yak,
and they would have found
disappear in the
something to attack her about. She was being, you know, violating their space or something.
Yeah.
But and the other thing that came out in this, in an interview with Savannah Hernandez, she recounts incidents, because she's been with Turning Point for a while. She's covered a lot of these events. She said it's surprising how much times racism gets thrown at her, because she's, you know, of Latino descent. And they just tell her, you're going to get deported. You're a discredit to your race because you're standing up for Trump and for conservative causes. And she said it really has been revealing how nasty the left is and how racist they can be when they're left unguarded.
Well, I think some things are becoming really obvious, and that is the hypocrisy of the left.
Yeah.
Okay, and they blame you for what they're doing. Okay.
Yes.
And I think if you can just get that little term in your head, you'll understand what's going on. Now, that's not giving them a pass. The only thing I'm hoping and praying for is that America continues to wake up of who they are. They are anti-American people. They're no longer the Democratic Party that actually was for America. They're totally against America. And it's accentuated primarily with President Trump.
Absolutely.
So you put those two things together, they can't stand it.
Yeah.
You know, the common question should be asked, why aren't they on a boat going to another country?
Exactly. Yeah.
This is such a horrible place.
Yeah. Right.
Go wherever you want to go.
Right.
In fact, I think we could raise the money to buy the tickets.
Yeah. Well, you know, the noteworthy people who have done such, they miss America. They sneak back and they visit.
Back.
Yes.
Rosie O'Donnell.
Rosie, yeah, she just snuck back for a trip.
What's the other one?
Yeah, what's her name? Ellen DeGeneres.
Ellen.
Yes.
They go away. You know, They make interesting gestures. They leave town, and then they sneak back in the town.
That's right. Okay, I got one more comment
sure
for
you
you.
do.
Okay, I got one more question.
Yeah.
All right. On The View the other morning, Joy Behar, and she really got resoundingly corrected immediately. Did you hear where she got in front of the camera? She said, Jesus never, ever claimed to be the Messiah.
Oh, yes.
She said that.
Yeah.
And even her co-hosts who have some modicum of faith said, oh, yeah. Oh, yes, he did. Oh, yeah. And she's fighting them. And I thought, theologian Joy Behar is weighing in on stuff of Jesus. Can you imagine?
Well, the other thing is this picture of President Trump.
And you know what? That's what triggered it.
That triggered it.
That's what triggered it.
And there's a lot of variations about that thing. But look, we're in this point now where these are all hot points to get you to get mad. And guess what? It's working.
Yes.
You need to back away and realize that, let me just put a little simple phrase out there.
Okay.
Two of them.
All right.
Number one.
What?
You don't break God's laws. God's laws break you. And number two, very scriptural. God will not be mocked.
Amen.
At the end of the day,
yep.
He wins.
All right.
So you can sit there and come up with phony theology, blasphemous theology.
Yes.
You can come up with all the stuff and make fun of it and think that you are some kind of a theologian or you are some kind of a spiritual guru or whatever. Until you stick your nose in the book. If your nose is in the book, you will be humbled because you realize it's by God's grace you even exist.
There you go. Yeah. All right.
My 2 cents.
Yeah, boy. All right.
Whatever it is.
Thanks.
Maybe it's opinion.
Thanks for indulging me.
No, it's all right. Maybe it's opinion. You okay now? You feel better?
Yeah, I was just curious, man.
So, you're getting things that, morphine doesn't do. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
Applegate River Golf and RV Resort, a pristine 9-hole course alongside the Applegate River. Their clubhouse offers a golf simulator experience. The RV Resort is adjacent to the golf course with convenient pull-through parking. Applegate River Golf and RV Resort. Information at applegaterv.com.
Welcome to Fish Lake Resort, where adventure is everywhere, and everyone is your friend. The fishing is great, and the food is tasty. The RV sites are full hookup, and the cabins are cozy. It's always a good time at Fish Lake Resort, and the best part is, you can come visit any day of the year because we are open all year, 7 days a week. Visit fishlakeresort.net today to learn more and plan your visit.
Do events in the world leave you confused and scratching your head? A world where up is down and down is up.
I'm Perry Atkinson. Mornings on the Dove knows how you feel. We're here to offer God's hope and encouragement and to help you to sort it all out.
And I'm Jerry Bilden. Mornings on the Dove alerts you to issues and events the mainstream media would rather you not know or know the truth.
A lot in the news today, some movement around in the Middle East, common sense discussions on today's headlines, and rational perspective on what's really going on.
That will leave you better informed and encouraged by the gospel.
In this upside-down world, there's one place you can trust to get it straight.
Check into Mornings on the Dove each day to find out what's really going on and to be encouraged.
Mornings on the Dove, weekdays from 6 to 8 a.m. on the Dove TV and radio. Streaming online at thedove.us, Roku, and Apple TV. The Dove, encouraging and informative.
Mornings on the Dove covers important issues,
but we also take the time to have some fun.
Along with encouragement, the day's forecast, and Jerry's Day in history.
So start your day with encouragement and information.
Join us weekday mornings on the Dove. All right, welcome back. 24 minutes up before the hour. One of the things that I think that we here in the West don't pay much attention to because our life is so fast, and where do you go to get information that you can trust, is that we really don't understand the Islamic culture and faith. Okay, and it's hard for us to believe that the tenets of a faith would include it's okay to lie when you're negotiating.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do you process that in your thinking that the actual tenet of this faith, the actual tenet of this existence, philosophy, ideology, it's okay to lie and cheat to get what you need, because in the end, your purpose in life is to advance Islam.
Yeah. Right.
And that Allah is the one true God, and that He needs to rule the world, and you guys are all infidels, and we need you converted or dead. It's either that. You either convert or die.
Yeah.
It's hard for us to think that there's a philosophy or religion, and when a religion is also the government, and you're dealing with a monotheistic type of position here, it's just hard for us to process that.
Yeah.
So if the philosophy of the religion or the culture is that you do whatever you have to do to win.
Right.
And it's okay to go into negotiations and lie. And we know that now. Why do we go into negotiations?
That's a great question.
Okay.
Yeah.
We go into negotiations to show the world that we're human and we're trying.
Okay.
We're looking for this moment maybe of an epiphany where Iran would say, okay, maybe we're wrong here and maybe we ought to become really citizens of the world now or something. We're looking for that moment, that Yaha moment. Well, CBN, Gary Lane, he's speaking to a Middle East expert about all of this and how we should consider that when the IRGC goes into a negotiation, they go in with the whole idea that we're going to lie because we want what we want and we don't care what you think.
Right.
So here's a little bit about how to process that.
President Trump says the war with Iran could be over soon. But is Iran's regime really ready to give up its apocalyptic dreams and stop its jihad against Israel in the West? Raymond Ibrahim is here to help us make sense of it. He's an expert on Islam, a historian, and an author. Right now, he's a visiting fellow at the Danube Institute, also works with the Gatestone Institute and the Middle East Forum. His most recent book is The Two Swords of Christ, 5 Centuries of War Between Islam and the Warrior Monks of Christendom. Okay, Raymond, first explain to our viewers what Shia Muslims in Iran and elsewhere in the Middle East believe about the Mahdi, the 12th Imam, how this war with Israel and the United States reinforces their ideology.
Sure, Gary. So the Mahdi is a central figure in both Sunni and Shia Islam. He's an eschatological end-time figure. And the word itself means the guided one. So both Sunnis and Shias expect him to return. And there's a very minor variances about how he's seen and what he does, but they both accept him. But he's especially prominent amongst not just Shias in general, but the 12er variety, which currently dominates the regime. Iran is a 12er variety, which means this is a little complicated, but there's different kinds of Shia. Some believe the final Imam is the 5th, the 7th. The vast majority are the 12. Okay, so basically this has to do with the whole hierarchy thing, which is neither here nor there. But bottom line is the Mahdi is an eschatological, mystical figure who's supposed to be ushered in at the end times and to bring justice and goodness. Now, on the surface, this sounds good, but of course, from an Islamic paradigm, what does that mean? Well, if he's actually bringing goodness, that means he's bringing Islam. He's bringing the Sharia worldview, and he's fighting everyone who is seen as the enemy of Islam, of course. And now what makes Iran particularly dangerous is not just because of its 12er Shia variety and the Mahdi doctrine, but it's well known that the Islamic Revolutionary Guard especially espouses this ideology. And this ideology is really rife with concepts of martyrdom and sacrifice. So as you can see, this is not the exact mentality that you would want to have weapons of mass destruction or nuclear weapons. And I think that's really what it comes down to. Of course, every country wants nuclear weapons, and I would argue Iran wants them for pragmatic, realpolitik reasons, just like the US wants it, Israel wants it, everyone wants nuclear weapons. But I do believe that this particular doctrine, which is idiosyncratic to especially Iran, makes the danger much more pronounced than, of course, it's dangerous when any country has nuclear weapons. But when you have a group whose ideology is very much centered around bringing the end times in a mystical manner, and the end times are to be ushered in when the greatest enemies of Islam are defeated, which from an Iranian perspective would be the two great Satans, of course, the United States and Israel. And then this whole concept, you're probably familiar, you've seen Ashura, where basically the Shias to commemorate the martyrdom of Hussein, whip themselves in a frenzy. Okay, so it's this sort of embattled mentality that has gone on for centuries that sees themselves as martyrs, as victims, as having to do whatever they have to do, including whatever sacrifice, in order to bring about the goodness of Islam in the person of the Mahdi.
Well, President Trump knows that. I mean, he's said they cannot have a nuclear weapon because of that. So knowing they think this way, how do you then negotiate with them? How do you work deals? Can they be trusted to abide by them?
Well, this is the problem. And then there's another problem that actually compounds the first one. And again, it's almost, we can argue, particular to Shia Islam of Iran. And it's the doctrine of taqiyya. Taqiyya is this doctrine that allows Muslims to dissemble and essentially actively lie vis-a-vis the non-Muslim as required. And it has Quranic verses. One of the most primary ones is Quran 328. But what's interesting is if you argue with, and I've been in these debates before, and apologists will argue with me and say, no, it's just a Shia doctrine. And the fact is, Shias have indeed, of course, championed taqiyya. It's been very much integral to their identity simply because they were the minority version, the minority Islam sect in the larger sect, the Sunnis. So they had more reason to dissemble around the Sunnis who would attack and kill them if they knew who they were. So this has gone on for centuries, and it's been said that the Shias are essentially, they have so internalized deception and duplicity. And I'm sorry to have to say this, and I'm not applying this to every single Iranian or even every single Shia, but I would say that it's fair to believe that the Iranian leadership, the regime, and especially, again, the Islamic Revolutionary Corps, does internalize and take on aspects of taqiyya, which essentially allow them to lie and deceive the infidels. So taken together, Mahdiism, martyrdom, sacrifice, eschatology, and then free reign to lie, yeah, I can see a strong argument to be made about not being able to trust the Iranian leadership. Because I think it's, in many ways, it's more evil and more disastrous than the physical sword that's actually killing Christians.
Yes, we're really in a spiritual battle here. Okay. Thanks for being with us, Raymond. God bless you.
You too. Thanks, Gary.
Wow.
Well, I think you need to sit down and if you're interested in the Middle East, you need to process this. This is what we're up against.
Yeah.
We're up against an ideology that has one thing in mind. It's not to negotiate. It's to kill you. Or convert you or kill you. I mean, that's the bottom line. You either become one of them or you're dead. You're an infidel. You're in the way.
Yeah, but they do have one little clause. If you pay them a certain amount of money, they won't kill you.
Yet.
But you're right. That's a good point.
Yet.
Yes.
Yet. Okay.
Oh, man.
Okay. Well, anyway, here's a guy that still's buying green bananas.
A look at our forecast from Grange Co-op. Today in northern Oregon and southern Washington, partly sunny with a chance of showers and high temperatures near 56 for Vancouver, Portland, Wilsonville, and McMinnville, with temperatures dropping into the upper 30s tonight. Moving down the Willamette Valley with partly sunny skies and a chance of showers with highs in the mid-50s for Salem, Albany, Corvallis, and Eugene, with mid-30s and patchy frost and fog tonight. Sunny to mostly sunny skies today across central Oregon with highs near 50 in Prineville and mid-40s for Bend and Sun River. Mostly sunny in Boise, Idaho, then a chance of rain and snow and breezy in mid-40s. Along the Oregon coast, a chance of showers early, then partly sunny in mid-50s for Coos Bay and Port Orford. Sunny and breezy in Brookings and Crescent City, California, with highs in the low to mid-50s. In southern Oregon, widespread frost this morning in the Rogue Valley, otherwise mostly sunny and low to mid-50s for Grants Pass, Medford, and Ashland. Sunny in Klamath Falls with a high near 49. Into northern California, widespread frost and sunny and near 53 around Wairika. Sunny skies from Redding through Chico and Sacramento with high temperatures near 67 and a gusty southwest wind this afternoon. Sunny skies across the Bay Area today with daytime highs near 71 in Santa Rosa, near 68 and breezy in Napa. San Francisco will see a high near 70 and near 70 in San Jose with a gusty northwest wind. It's a snapshot of your Thursday weather from Grange Co-op.
On this day in 73 A.D., we are really going back in history here. A dramatic...
Are you there?
Some people think I may have been there. A dramatic and tragic chapter in history came to an end. High above the Judean desert, the fortress of Masada fell to Roman forces, marking the final stand of the First Jewish-Roman War. Originally built by Herod the Great, Masada was considered nearly impossible to conquer. But after months of siege, Roman troops led by Flavius Silva constructed a massive ramp, allowing them to breach its walls. What they found inside stunned them. Rather than surrender, the Jewish defenders, known as the Sicarii, had chosen death over capture and slavery. The account recorded by historian Flavius Josephus describes a final act of defiance that would echo through history. Today, Masada remains a powerful symbol of resistance, sacrifice, and the enduring human desire for freedom. A story not just of defeat, but of conviction, remembered for nearly 2,000 years. Have you been there?
Yes, and if you ever go to Israel, you have to go to Masada.
Oh, I would love to.
Now, let me just give you a little warning. Don't be a Superman and think you can hike up there.
Oh, really?
Some people think, well, I'll just walk up.
Yeah.
Well, halfway up, they'll probably take you down in a stretcher. So take the tram up.
Okay.
But then you could do the walk down.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Right.
But the whole history, you can walk up there today and walk around, and you'll see bits of pottery that's broken, and you can pick it up.
Oh, no kidding.
You can see the hot pools and everything, and how they got the water there. I mean, the whole thing is absolutely stunning.
All right.
But can you imagine, here you are on this mountaintop, basically a natural moat around you, and you're watching your enemies through the years carry dirt.
Right. To make this ramp.
To make this ramp.
Right. Right.
Hundreds of thousands of cubic yards of dirt. Millions.
Right.
And you can sit there doing your life and watching your enemy slowly come towards you.
That's amazing. Never thought about it in that perspective. Okay. And all hand done, huh?
All hand done.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't have dump trucks.
Right. They didn't have big old cranes.
No.
And right.
No,
yeah.
They had nothing. They just, and so it's an amazing place. And you can sit up there and look out across the Dead Sea and all that. I mean, it's...
So you mentioned don't walk up there, take the tram. So if you decide to walk up there, the pathway, does it still use part of that ramp that they built?
No, there's another walkway up.
All right.
But I have to tell you, you can do it. I mean, if you're in good health, I mean, if you're a superhero and you just finished the... the Pear Blossom Parade, and you're in good shape.
So I won't be doing it right now?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
You won't go down it either.
That's true. That's true. All right.
But there were some guys, and they were super guys.
Yeah.
They decided they got up there and they were pretty tuckered out. But you could go down, but the tram's the easy way to go back and forth.
Okay, yeah.
But if you ever go to the Holy Land, it's one of those places you should go. You should go try to sit down in the Salton Sea, which you can't really sit down and float in it.
Oh, yeah.
That's on your way to Masada.
Okay. Wow. All right.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Why does that mean anything? I don't know. All right, let's check out retired astronaut and naval aviator Captain Butch Wilmore. You remember he was one of the guys that went up and got stuck?
Yeah.
He wrote a book.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Stuck in Space. And here's a little bit of commentary on that.
Wrote the book actually for my daughters. I wrote it, I had actually written a couple of chapters before we launched, because my wife and I were in our 40s when we actually had our daughters, and we'd lived a life before they were born. So I was writing kind of a memoir for them, something that they could have long after we were gone, because they are the legacy we will leave. The reason I published it is because of the message of hope. Hope for the now and all the circumstances. People are stuck in all types of situations. We were stuck in space, but people feel stuck in many situations. There's hope in the now, and there's also eternal hope in Jesus Christ our Lord, like I said. And that's why I published.
Isn't that great? Can you imagine thinking you're going up for a couple of days and you're up there for a half a year?
We all watched it.
Almost a year, 3/4 of a year. Well, how many days? Up there, 286 days.
And that was the Boeing Starlink issue, right? Yeah. Have they fixed that? Are they back in the game?
You don't hear much about Boeing space program.
You really don't.
But you hear a lot about X.
Oh, yeah.
NASA's back on the scene. And
yes.
Blue Orbit, I guess, wants to be competitive. I just don't know. Blue Orbit's only gone to the edge of space and back. That's kind of like a joyride.
Yes.
X at least has gone up to the space station and back.
Right. Yeah, well, and also, let's face it, you know, that program is what just took us around the moon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it was those
X,
rockets.
I wonder if X, behind the scenes, is rushing to get to the moon and drive a stake down before we get back up there.
I don't know.
Put a big X up there.
X
I
marks
think,
the spot.
look, I'd like to say to Elon, if you're going to the moon, take your truck with you.
You don't like that truck, do you?
No.
No.
Take that aluminum, whatever you want to call it, thing with you and leave it up there.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
You know, it looks like it belongs on the moon.
I got to tell you, though, there's one thing about that truck that I really enjoyed seeing. I was loading up water once last year. We needed water. We had a little problem with the well. So I got my truck at the watering station here, and there's one of these Tesla trucks. And the guy's got that little panel over the back, you know, but he's got a water tank in the back there, and he's filling it. And I'm watching this guy. He's got this Tesla, and all of a sudden he stops, and he's getting ready to, you know, he puts the hose away and everything, and that Tesla all by itself just raises it up to the proper level to take that load.
Really?
Yeah. And he gets back in and silently,
well,
he's gone.
I think now they're just a novelty to have with your business on the side.
Yeah, but they're still bulletproof, aren't they? I think they're bulletproof.
Are they bulletproof?
Yeah.
Well, they don't burn very well.
They blow up pretty good.
We'll be right back. We'll be right back.
They burn pretty well.
Jerry, did you know that we're farmers?
Farmers? I knew there was a reason I like overalls.
At theDove, we plant seeds of hope, truth, and the gospel every day.
And when those seeds land in the right hearts, lives change.
But every harvest needs more hands.
That's where you come in.
Today, become a farmer with theDove. Plant a seed, help it grow.
Your gift reaches someone who needs hope.
Don't wait, join us in this harvest.
Let's grow something eternal together.
Give today at theDove.
The Lennox iComfort S30 thermostat can sense changes in your environment. It even knows when you come and go. So now your home's most important system is also the smartest.
Metal Masters can give you the smartest home comfort system available. It knows when you're away and adjusts when allergens and humidity get uncomfortable. Trust Metal Masters to provide perfect air for your family.
Lennox. Air is life. Make it perfect.
When life feels heavy, your body feels it, your mind feels it. That is why I created Organic Elements Wellness Spa, a place where wellness is not a luxury, it's a way of life. Step into our wellness lounge with a Himalayan salt room, infrared sauna, steam room, and invigorating cold plunge. Restore your nervous system, detox your body, and clear your mind. Then experience customized massage, advanced skin therapies, and result-driven facials, all designed to help you look as good as you feel. There's nothing else like this in Southern Oregon. This is your space to heal, to reset, to glow. Call today to book your private wellness party for up to 15 guests or surprise someone special with a gift certificate.
Visit Organic Elements Wellness Spa on East Main Street in Medford. Book online at organicelementspa.com. Wellness is wholeness. Voted best of Southern Oregon.
All right, welcome back. Nice day in the neighborhood. Here's back. You know, a lot going on in the Middle East. We'll try our best to stay on top of it. The blockade is working. They just had a news conference at the Pentagon, and they had the Admiral there, they had the Chief there, and of course they had Secretary of War there.
Yeah.
They're giving a lot of information out, which is good. The bottom line is, you know, we're only seeing bits and pieces in the news, but every day something is being eliminated. Now, here's the issue. They still want the ceasefire that's now holding to continue to hold. And yet, Iran is saying, no, it's time for us to take out some ships inside the strait. Can you imagine if Iran takes out a ship in the strait?
Nope.
What will happen?
Oh, it'll be tough, yeah.
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 So anyway, I tell you what, this war's got a lot of people with a lot of opinions, but there is a common thread I'm hearing out there. Let's finish it.
Right.
Oh, what does that mean?
That means let's get the prices back down.
Yeah, but
how do you do it?
Yeah.
How do you finish it?
Finish the war. All right. Hebrews 13, verse 8, Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. He hasn't changed. Who has? You?
Since 1934, Grange Co-op has been more than just a store. We've been a cornerstone of our community, owned by people like you. We proudly offer top-quality farm and ranch supplies, including our own Rogue feed, as well as workwear, Western apparel, garden essentials, and pet care products. By signing up as a Grange Rewards customer, you not only enjoy exclusive benefits like special offers and 1% back on most purchases, but you also become part of something bigger, a cooperative that you own and help shape. Join Grange Rewards today.
Your property demands equipment with more reliability, durability, and versatility built in. Kubota equipment is ready to get the job done right.
Hey, this is Ed, co-owner of Visiting Angels. To continue to serve our seniors, we need more caregivers with a heart to serve. Our mission statement is honoring the art of giving, which means we honor you, the caregiver. We know it's our people that make Visiting Angels the best in-home care provider and a great place to work. Come be our next amazing caregiver. Give us a call or apply online. At Visiting Angels, we're committed to you because we honor the art of giving.
Stewardship begins with the knowledge that nothing belongs to us, but everything belongs to the Lord. This helps us to run a business not in the fear of lack, but in the assurance of His care and provision. Such a perspective eliminates the drive to sell and replaces it with a heart that says serve. This begins with serving our clients and coworkers with integrity and genuine care. That's why at Kelly's, it's automotive service with a heart for God and treating others as we ourselves would want to be treated. Our promise is to never sell our clients anything we don't believe they need. Another is to do all we can to meet other needs, such as shuttle service and loaner cars, or taking the time to really listen, even at times praying with our customers. Sometimes this means sacrifice, going above and beyond, but that's why I work for Kelly's Automotive Service, honoring God while serving people with honesty and integrity.
This week on the John Ankerberg Show, we'll talk about the brave people that are bringing the gospel of Jesus Christ to their people using audio Bibles.
God is working through these audio Bibles. People hear the Word of God, and God, the Holy Spirit, uses that Word to pierce their heart. I am impressed with how powerful the Word of God is.
Join me for the John Ankerberg Show right here on the Dove TV. It'll be encouraging and informative.
Welcome home to the Dove TV, encouraging and informative for the Pacific Northwest and Northern California.
Good morning. You're tuned to the Dove, encouraging and informative, helping Oregon, Northern California, Idaho, and Nevada start the day with news and encouragement. This is Mornings on the Dove.
Well, good morning to you and happy Thursday. Welcome. Jerry Bilden finds his way home.
I'm back.
And back.
Yeah.
I think you got to do your own travel log.
Yo.
People won't know where you go and why you go
you go there. Oh, man. You know, I did find out one thing, though. Traveling with a fracture cast or fracture boot on and a cane.
Yeah.
Oh, it gets you to the front of every line. It gets you pre-boarded. It gets you, it's amazing. You know, it gets you get off the plane. There's a wheelchair waiting for you. They roll you to a golf cart. They take you through the airport and go beep, beep, beep. People part out of the way as you're sitting there. And you almost feel guilty.
You should.
Almost. But anyway, it's good to be back. Thanks.
All right. Well, there you go, folks. He's milking it. I just want you to know he's milking it.
You have no idea.
Oh, my. Anyway, good morning to you. Happy Thursday, better known as Friday Eve. A lot in the news, a lot of moving parts in the news today. Actually, news from all over the world. Really interesting. Yeah. Otherwise, the weather, it is cold. I mean, we woke up to somewhere around 1:30, 2 o'clock. I started to hear the orchard and the vineyard fans whopping out there. And I go, what is that noise? And I realized they started the fans going.
Yeah.
It got down into the freezing.
Yeah.
And you had snow on the bridge.
I had snow on my bridge this morning, yeah, and a little light, falling down on the way in, too. So, yeah, you're right. It's chilly out there.
Wow, it's chilly out there. All right. Yeah. What else going on?
Well, first of all, it is National Healthcare Decisions Day. And, I think we're all pretty, attuned to healthcare decisions. And honestly, it's kind of a lifestyle thing these days. I know this one is drawn up specifically, especially towards people nearing end of life and end of life decisions. But, healthcare decisions, they're with us every single day.
Yes.
Even like we decide what we're going to eat.
Yes.
It's a healthcare decision.
It is a healthcare decision.
Absolutely. So be mindful of all those decisions today.
Whether you're going to skin the fog or not, it's a healthcare decision.
You are right. You had to bring that up, didn't you? And Pam is going, amen, Perry, amen.
Okay, Pam, hang in there.
She never really lets that one go.
No, why should we?
Okay, never. Okay, it's National Bean Counter Day. Every accountant's favorite day of the year. How are you at bean counting?
I've learned the hard way to be a bean counter.
Have you?
Yeah, and it's through necessity and experience.
Okay.
But in my years and years and decades of doing business, I want to say this with a sense of pride.
Okay.
Not bad pride. But
okay.
Pride.
Yeah.
We have the best we've ever had.
Oh, really? No kidding.
Indiana.
Oh, yeah.
We've never had the quality that we have now. I've never have had reports that I'm getting now, and variations thereof. It is amazing when you have the right person in the right place doing the right thing and knows what they're doing.
Yeah, okay.
And loves doing it.
All right.
Bean counters are interesting people.
Yeah, well, see, I was just about to add. Plus, Deanna she's really a great person. She's got a full personality. She's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, she's a bean counter you want outside the cubicle.
Yeah.
Most of them you want in the cubicle with a lid on it and the door.
Exactly.
Okay,
yeah,
but no,
yeah.
but it's they're interesting people. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
I'll tell you what. Have you ever played a game with a bean counter?
No.
Oh, my star.
I have not, no.
You better be prayed up.
Oh, I bet.
Because everything has to be perfect.
Oh.
Everything has to be by the rules. Everything has to be on the right line.
Oh, sure. Okay. Yes.
That's a good bean counter. But I have to tell you, playing a game with them, I used to play with a friend of mine, the bean counter, and it was all about the rules. Gosh, I wanted to slap him.
Do they approach their walk of faith the same way?
Well, yes. As a matter of fact, they do.
I bet.
No, you're wrong. It says this.
It says this. Here's the rule. Right. I love it. Okay. Right. Also, have a banana. It's National Banana Day, celebrating the nutrition of the fruit as well as the comedy that has used banana in its acts. And, and I think that's kind of typical. We see an old movie, you see a banana peel on the floor. You know what's going to happen.
So Peggy and I were in Costco. We bought some green bananas, and I happened to ask her, I said, do you think I'll live to see them turn yellow?
Yes, we have.
If your doctor tells you not to buy any green bananas, you're in bad shape.
Okay, then instead we'll have Eggs Benedict because it is National Eggs Benedict Day, and it is wonderful. You can use it as a breakfast or a brunch dish, and it consists of poached eggs with hollandaise sauce and Canadian bacon or ham on an English muffin half, and you have to have 2 of them because you have to have 2 eggs. And look at that, it looks wonderful. I can't even remember the last time I had it, but it is really good. And they even make, a lot of chefs do variations on this where they'll switch. There it is right there. There's salmon instead of the ham.
Or regular bacon.
There you go. Or regular bacon, right. Yeah. Oh, good. Either way.
Do you like your eggs runny or a little more?
Yeah.
What?
Both. I don't care.
I don't care from real runny.
You know what I like? I like a runny egg on top of my stack of pancakes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, with syrup all together. Oh my gosh, it's so good.
You don't care if it's chirping on you or not?
I try to avoid that one, but I'll take what I get. It's also National Wear Your Pajamas to Work Day. Oh yeah, heaven forbid.
Oh man.
Pam asked me if I was going to wear my pajamas to work today. I said, and I paused for a second, and I said no. I'm going to pass. And she was like, no guts, no glory.
Oh, yeah, well.
I said, can you imagine, Perry, if we're in our pajamas?
You see that camera over there?
Yeah.
I would have put it right here.
Check. Well, pajamas are more than just bedtime attire. Mm-hmm. They're a versatile fashion statement, a source of comfort, and a way to express personal style while promoting relaxation and better sleep quality. Yeah, but why do I have to see it when I'm shopping in a store? Yeah. Why do I have to see it when I'm in an airport? Getting on a flight? You can't go. Remember the good old days where people used to dress up when they traveled?
Yeah.
Now it's you put on your best pair of plaid pajama bottoms and a cool T-shirt.
Well, I have to tell you, if you see somebody like at the airport in their pajamas or at Walmart in their pajamas, think of this.
What?
They got out of bed and didn't take a shower.
Yes, you're right.
Okay?
You're right.
And it's possible.
Yeah.
It's highly possible. They've been in those pajamas for 2 days.
Exactly. Or more.
Or more.
Yes, or more. God. But I can't figure it out. And there are some really cool websites, or at least some YouTube videos of people who are just appalled. And they show like B-roll video of people walking around in public in their pajamas and the things that they wear. And it's stunning to see what people think is okay. But I like hearing the commentary. There's social commentary that goes with it, and people are generally appalled by it. But so, if you're wearing your pajamas today, I'm not putting you down or anything like that, but at least if you're going out in them, put on your clean ones.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I don't understand the pajamas.
I don't get it. So, and that's all I got. We're having Eggs Benedict in our pajamas.
Okay, well, here's the guy that likes his eggs running.
A look at our forecast from Grange Co-op. Today in northern Oregon and southern Washington, partly sunny with a chance of showers and high temperatures near 56 for Vancouver, Portland, Wilsonville, and McMinnville, with temperatures dropping into the upper 30s tonight. Moving down the Willamette Valley with partly sunny skies and a chance of showers with highs in the mid-50s for Salem, Albany, Corvallis, and Eugene, with mid-30s and patchy frost and fog tonight. Sunny to mostly sunny skies today across central Oregon with highs near 50 in Prineville and mid-40s for Bend and Sun River. Mostly sunny in Boise, Idaho, then a chance of rain and snow and breezy in mid-40s. Along the Oregon coast, a chance of showers early, then partly sunny in mid-50s for Coos Bay and Port Orford. Sunny and breezy in Brookings and Crescent City, California, with highs in the low to mid-50s. In southern Oregon, widespread frost this morning in the Rogue Valley, otherwise mostly sunny and low to mid-50s for Grants Pass, Medford, and Ashland. Sunny in Klamath Falls with a high near 49. Into northern California, widespread frost and sunny and near 53 around Wairika. Sunny skies from Redding through Chico and Sacramento with high temperatures near 67 and a gusty southwest wind this afternoon. Sunny skies across the Bay Area today with daytime highs near 71 in Santa Rosa, near 68 and breezy in Napa. San Francisco will see a high near 70 and near 70 in San Jose with a gusty northwest wind. It's a snapshot of your Thursday weather from Grange Co-op.
Beautiful shot of our backyard. We have some high clouds still over the top, but it kind of capped some very cold temperatures. And we'll have a report later, but the Cascades got hit with some wind and snow. Mm-hmm. It's pretty active out there.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, here's a rhetorical question for all of us.
Okay.
Do you remember the excitement that you felt when you first came to the Lord?
Oh, yeah.
Are you still feeling it? Are you still feeling that encouragement? Well, here with more on this is Dr. David Jeremiah.
Therefore, we were buried with him through baptism and death, that just as Christ was raised from the dead by the glory of the Father, even so we also should walk in newness of life. For we have been united together in the likeness of his death. Certainly we also shall be in the likeness of his resurrection. Our relationship with Christ is not some old life. It is a brand new life. We have come out of the grave with him, and we have been resurrected to a whole new life. As Tennyson used to say, oh, that a man would arise in me, that the man I am would cease to be. And Jesus Christ is the answer to that quest. He came so that we could become what we could never by ourselves become. Through his death and burial and resurrection, we have arisen to a new life. And just as surely as Christ marched out of the tomb that first Easter Sunday, there was a day when David Jeremiah was resurrected through faith in Jesus Christ. And in that moment, all things passed away and all things became new. And I began to walk in newness of life. Before, I was dead toward God and alive to sin. But when Jesus took over my life, I became dead to sin and alive to God. And sin no longer had a reign over me, even though sometimes I give in and don't live the way I should. I no longer have to be servant to sin.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff. Yeah. All right, good morning to you. 12 past the hour. Let's take a look at some of the top stories. Kind of interesting, divert our attention a little bit away from the Middle East for about 5 seconds. And that is the president is heading to China for a state visit in May. This has actually been on the books for quite a while. And so he's going to be going to China. But in the meantime, our European friends, you really don't know where these people are at. One day they're saying, we're going to help you. Next day, we're not going to do anything. And so in the meantime, the Europeans are formally rooting for President Trump when he travels to Beijing for the state visit in mid-May. They're saying, as regards to the relationship with China, we share many of the concerns with the United States, including the imbalance in our trade relationships, including China's industrial overcapacity and non-marketing policies and practices, including China's attempt to use our dependency, for example, on critical minerals like rare earth supplies as a leverage and a choke point. So apparently, they're saying to the president, go baby go.
Yeah,
you know.
Yes.
And so he's going to go over there in the middle of everything else going on. He did cancel this once before because of the war, but it's back on for mid-May, and so he's going to go to China and meet with Xi. We'll see where this is going to go. Or Xi, what's it? Xi? I can't get all the names correct. Okay, so that's what's happening there. So, by the way, a little bit, a reminder of a story we had yesterday. King Charles is coming to the White House, exercising soft power to hopefully calm down the problems between the United States and the UK, and to see if he could be a little bit of a bridge builder for.
Oh, really?
Nice things.
Oh, what do you think of that?
Well, I think it's the right thing. You know, this is cool because otherwise the monarchy has no power.
Yeah, yeah.
But diplomatically, they're really good. So they can come here to the United States, and the king's going to come over and have a state dinner with the first family and some other notables. And it's an attempt to say, all right, look, we may disagree, but you know, we're still related here. We need to get along.
This all sounds like maybe an outline for a summit with his son.
Could be.
Oh man,
I don't know.
Maybe the same type of approach.
Come with him or not.
Yeah, I wonder. No, yeah, I mean the outed son, the ousted son.
Oh,
with
Harry.
Harry, yeah.
Well, Harry.
You know?
Harry. Now there's a dispute with Harry and Meghan over some crown jewels.
The tiara.
Yeah.
The tiara.
The tiara, which goes back to the wedding.
Right, goes back to the wedding, and they're still miffed about that.
Well, okay.
Right.
Who's who here? And there's another person. This is going to make a great movie someday.
Okay, go. Yeah.
What's her name? The gal that was in charge of the Queen's wardrobe?
Yeah, I was reading about her, and I didn't know her, and I can't.
Apparently, she was like the power behind the throne.
She was the power behind the throne. She really was.
And you see her in these pictures, and you didn't know who she was. Now you do.
Yes, but she had the Queen's full confidence.
Full confidence.
Yes.
And so she basically told Harry, "Get your hands off that."
Right. Yeah, and better yet, get your little wife's hands off that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the feud is still there. I don't know what you do with this.
Yeah. Well,
can somebody in the professional counseling? I should call Kevin Lehman. Hey, Kevin. Yeah. Look, would you go over to Buckingham Palace and Yeah. And put a little meeting together between Harry, William, and their dad.
Right.
See if you can calm the storm down.
Yeah, Kevin Lehman would be good for that.
He'd be the guy.
Absolutely.
He's a hoot of a guy.
Yes.
You know, throw a whole lot of humor in there.
Right, and he knows their birth order. So
he knows their birth order. You know. So I did talk to Kevin on the phone the other day, and I said, you know, he still remembers coming up here with Randy Carlson. Randy Carlson, we took him fishing on the Rogue River, and he wore those hard shoes that had what do we used to call them?
Which ones? The
dress shoes.
Oh, like wingtips?
Wingtips.
No way.
Yes.
Fishing?
He wore wingtips in the boat, and we razzed him so bad about it.
Good. He deserved it.
And Kevin Lehman shows up literally. You thought it was underwear, but it wasn't.
Oh, no.
He wore a pair of red polka dotted shorts. So I got one guy in wingtips.
And one guy in red polka dot shorts.
On a boat, going down the river.
Oh, I've seen that boat coming down the river.
Oh, gosh, it was hilarious.
Oh,
all right, so much for that. We'll get Kevin over there and try to solve the royal problem. All right, in the meantime, Pakistan has, been very gracious in trying to host these peace talks. And the mediators for Pakistan are still working hard behind the scenes. Since the blockade has occurred, Iran wants to come back to the table. Okay, isn't it interesting? They want to come back to the table.
Yeah.
So the president really is in a good spot. He does hold all the cards, and by the way, he also holds the Trump card. Okay.
Yeah.
So here is White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt talking about Pakistan wanting to host another meeting like as early as this weekend.
We've remained very much engaged in these negotiations, in these talks. You heard from the Vice President directly and the President this week that these conversations are productive and ongoing, and that's where we are right now. I've also seen some reporting about the potentiality for in-person discussions again. Those discussions are being had, but nothing is official until you hear it from us here at the White House. But we feel good about the prospects of a deal. The President mentioned that in his interview yesterday, and it's obviously in the best interest of Iran to meet the president's demands. I think he's made his red lines in these negotiations very clear to the other side, and so we are continuing to see how these conversations go. The Pakistanis have been incredible mediators throughout this process, and we really appreciate their friendship and their efforts to bring this deal to a close. So they are the only mediator in this negotiation. While there have been many countries around the world who want to offer their help, the president feels it's important to continue to streamline this communication through the Pakistanis, and so that's what continues to take place.
Well, we'll see what happens. They're going to try to get together this weekend. I don't know. We'll talk about this a little bit later. How do you negotiate with somebody whose ideology allows you to lie?
Right. Great question.
I don't know how you negotiate with this. But I think that as much criticism as the president getting with all of this, look, if he wanted to end this war today, he could. Okay. We have the power, the means, and the intelligence to finish the job.
Okay.
The big question is, why aren't we?
Yeah.
And I think he is giving Iran and telling the world, I'm doing everything I can, human-wise, to give them a chance to come to the world stage as citizens instead of terrorists.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not working.
Apparently not working, but he is giving them a chance. He has.
In the meantime, one of the proxies from Iran has been Hezbollah inside Lebanon, which is just north of Israel. And Israel, in the last couple of days, have made numerous strikes inside Lebanon and taking out various levels of Hezbollah. They're calling it the broad layer of Hezbollah's middle ranks. So, again, this is where the intelligence is. Israel's intelligence knows where all the Hezbollahs are. They know what ranks they are. They know where they're hiding, and they can put a bomb down somebody's front door.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. And that's what they're doing inside Lebanon. In the meantime, the Lebanon officials and Israeli officials are getting together for peace talks. So we'll see how that goes. So anyway, they wiped out, I think they did in less than an hour, they took out a majority of the lower-level Hezbollah team.
Wow.
So,
oh, my goodness.
Anyway, interesting. All right. So those are some of the top stories on this Thursday, and it will warm up, but right now it is chilly out there, so drive carefully as we go get some bananas. We'll be right back.
Christ in me, so I will fix my
Since 1934, Grange Co-op has been more than just a store. We've been a cornerstone of our community, owned by people like you. We proudly offer top-quality farm and ranch supplies, including our own Rogue feed, as well as workwear, Western apparel, garden essentials, and pet care products. By signing up as a Grange Rewards customer, you not only enjoy exclusive benefits like special offers and 1% back on most purchases, but you also become part of something bigger, a cooperative that you own and help shape. Join Grange Rewards today.
Panoramic Moto Tours was born really out of my passion just to ride Gray's back roads and the scenic highways in our beautiful Northwest. God put it on my heart to share the experiences and invite others. More than riding beautiful roads, it's the camaraderie and fellowship. It's hearing each other's stories. It's being mutually encouraged on our journeys of life.
Riders can book one of our ready-to-ride guided tours offering the best of Oregon or Northern California. Or book a private custom tour tailored just for your group to destinations like Glacier or Yellowstone. For more information, go to
panoramicmototours.com or call me, Nick, at 541-622-3844. When you find something you love, you just want to share it.
panoramicmototours.com. Your next adventure starts here.
Do events in the world leave you confused? A world where up is down and down is up.
Mornings on the Dove knows how you feel. We're here to offer God's hope and encouragement and to help you to sort it all out.
Alerting you to the truth that the mainstream media would rather you not know.
Common sense discussions on what's really going on.
That will leave you better informed and encouraged by the gospel.
In this upside-down world,
get it straight.
Watch Mornings on the Dove weekdays.
Welcome back. 23 minutes past the hour. A little bit of some backyard news. Jerry is a baseball fan.
Yo.
Yeah, and Gary and some. You guys follow players and batting averages.
Oh, the whole deal. Yeah.
You're like it's like an addiction, I guess.
And we're in the swing of things, and but it's a pretty cheap addiction because all you have to do is
watch it. Yeah.
Watch it. Yeah. But it's fun to watch. Right now we got two big teams playing, the Yankees against the California Angels, and of course that's Mike Trout against Aaron Judge, two of the big and best players, and they are fans of each other. So as they watch each other hit home runs in the outfield, the camera goes close up on the other guy. Yeah. Who's in, and they're smiling as they watch each other hit home runs.
Well, there you go.
It's a nice fandom.
I'm glad you're in at that level.
Yeah. Anyway, what do you got baseball for us?
Well, because as you know, Medford had this big push to revitalize downtown Medford, and part of it was, and it passed, which was kind of interesting. But anyway, part of it is to take Hawthorne Park and turn it into a baseball field. Mm-hmm. Well, in the meantime, the Harry and David Field of Medford could now become a potential site for a minor league baseball team. And the reason being is that all starts from up in Eugene with the Embers. Apparently, their field up there does not meet major league standards for minor league stadiums. Mm-hmm. And so they're looking for a place to go. So they're looking at possibly Harry and David's Field. Well, anyway, as you know, the city has got this bond thing out there to build one in Hawthorne Park. Mm-hmm. So they looked just briefly, $60 million to do the one the city wants, and maybe as much as $20 million to fix Harry and David's to put it in play right now.
Okay, all right.
So in the meantime, the interim city manager of Medford said before the council makes a final decision that they would like to see what the most feasible, cost-effective option is. That means that the Harry and David Field probably is in consideration.
Yes.
Which means it would modify what the bond issue did for downtown Medford.
Okay.
This is going to be an interesting tug-of-war.
Yeah, it is. And let me ask you this. Obviously, the cost differences are quite stark and apparent.
Yeah, $40 million.
Yeah.
American dollars.
Right.
Yep.
What do you think of locations? Because Hawthorne Park, what a different kind of a location than where Harry and David is. Do you think one is more conducive to be successful than the other?
I think there's several things in play.
Okay.
The time to get the Hawthorne thing going is probably several years down the road, maybe a year or two down the road.
Okay.
Because when they start moving the dirt around and they start moving traffic around, and then you're going to build it, where are you going to put the cars and the parking and all that? So one produces the other.
Yeah.
Okay. Harry and David right now does have the parking available. Maybe not enough, but there's enough real estate around there to adjust to that.
Yeah.
Number two, it could actually be in play maybe this season.
Yeah.
You know, in a small scale, certainly by next season.
Yeah.
And that area out there can handle the traffic a whole lot better than downtown Medford.
Great point. I think you're right on the money there. Yes.
Now, that's my 2 cents, and I don't have the inside baseball stuff, but this is going to be an interesting tug-of-war between the city and what they want to do with this, because a lot of people in the city really want this development downtown.
Yeah.
And it's a tax on people staying in the hotel rooms in downtown Medford.
Right.
That created the bond to do this project, okay? In the middle of that project, they got one other problem. It's the I-5 corridor going through there, the viaduct.
Yeah.
And that has to be addressed.
Yeah.
So anyway, bottom line is, if we do it right, we could have a minor league team here.
That'd be great.
Wouldn't that be wonderful?
Yes.
Gosh. I mean, with all the other things we got the sports park, we got all the other baseball diamonds just south of there.
Right.
Gosh, we've become a sports haven.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Yeah. And the only other last story I want to tell you about, and you already know about it, and that is heavy snow is considered, or is forecasted to be in the Cascades last night, today, and a little bit tomorrow. Yeah. And it is a winter storm, flat out winter storm with heavy winds, heavy rain, heavy snow, and some of the mountain passes. Trip check before you head out, because there's snow out there.
Oh, boy.
All right.
Trip.
So that's some of the stories. All right, let's take a look at Wall Street for a Thursday morning. Thank you, Preston. Smart lawn. He's a smart guy. All right, the Dow's off. Look at this. Look at these numbers. 9 points. That's not a whole lot. The Nas is down 87, not a whole lot, and S&P's down 12. So a little red ink, but it's not bleeding.
Not much, yeah.
That pushed gold up to 48.19. Silver's at still around 79. And crude oil is up, but it's down. Yesterday we saw it at 98. Today it's at 97 and 47 cents. So it's below 100.
Yeah.
I think the fact that it's not up around 110 or something tells me that the blockade is working. A little bit.
Well, here Representative Carlos Jimenez from Florida spoke with Stuart Varney on Fox Business about China's weaknesses, and he answers Stuart's questions about Cuba's leader vowing to die to protect the revolution.
It tells them that any time and any of our choosing, we can put a stranglehold on their economy. China has two weaknesses. One is energy, which we're demonstrating right now. The other one is food, because they're about 30% food deficient. They can't produce the food they need in order to feed their own population. So they've got a couple of weak points in their strength that we can actually take advantage of. And so right now we're demonstrating what we can do to energy. We've got, they used to get oil from Venezuela at a discounted price. That's no longer the case. And they used to get their oil from Iran at a discounted price. That's no longer the case either. And so China sees that the United States has a couple of cards that it can play too. I hope we give them a chance to die to defend the revolution, okay? Because that revolution needs to go. They've destroyed the island. It's the island of my birth. And I want to see a free and democratic Cuba, and a free and democratic Cuba that is friendly to the United States, so that we don't have this adversary 90 miles from our shore, this security risk 90 miles from our shore. And so we need to continue to exert maximum pressure and let it cook for a while. Stew for a while, okay? And see what happens, okay?
Not to mention the cigars, huh?
Yeah, not to mention, yeah.
Well, look, I'm really, I think what they're doing with Cuba is let it play out, like he said. If things settle down with Iran, I think the president will focus on Cuba pretty fast.
Yeah.
I think he still has some things in mind. Cuba really is a no-brainer. Either we make it a territory or you set it up to become its own nation with its own people, because the Cuban Americans really want that. And the commerce between Florida and Cuba could be huge.
Yeah.
billions of dollars, you know.
Yep.
So that's going to be on the radar. It looks like Greenland is still on the radar, you know.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
We haven't heard much about that.
No,
recently.
Wyoming's taken up by all the things.
We have too many other things going on.
Yeah, but before he leaves office, who knows? The real estate portfolio of the United States could increase.
It could, yeah. Oh, man.
All right. Eggs Benedict.
Yeah, we'll take it.
I don't like them runny. I'd like to, if it's going to be a soft-boiled egg,
yeah,
like a little more firm.
Okay.
But pour on the bacon and that cream sauce up.
Oh, yeah, the hollandaise sauce.
Oh, the hollandaise.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Yeah, my cardiologist says go for it.
Yeah, go for it.
Keeps them in business.
We'll see you next week.
Yeah, I'll see you. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
So hold on, you gotta wait for the light. Press on and just fight the good fight.
Your yard is where life happens, but it can be muddy and hard to maintain. Enjoy a maintenance-free artificial turf lawn all year round with Smart Lawn LLC. No mowing, no fertilizing, no watering. Our synthetic grass is beautiful and resilient. It's certified to be lead-free, and there's no need for pesticides. Safe for your children and pets. Smart Lawn LLC has all your artificial turf and putting green areas covered beautifully. 541-941-3538.
Hey, this is Ed, co-owner of Visiting Angels. To continue to serve our seniors, we need more caregivers with a heart to serve. Our mission statement is honoring the art of giving, which means we honor you, the caregiver. We know it's our people that make Visiting Angels the best in-home care provider and a great place to work. Come be our next amazing caregiver. Give us a call or apply online. At Visiting Angels, we're committed to you because we honor the art of giving.
Mornings on the Dove covers issues affecting you. Good morning to you. A lot going on in the news. There always is. We'll give you some recaps of the top stories of the day.
But we also take the time to have some fun and laugh.
Sometimes that's all you can do.
Well, that's pretty wise.
And these days, we all need encouragement. Count on Mornings on the Dove to deliver just that from God's Word.
God is faithful.
You go by faith and facts or feelings, along with the day's forecast and interesting stories from Jerry's historical archives.
Changed the business of sports forever.
Was being paid a staggering $25,000 a year.
So start your day with encouragement and information.
93% of Americans want voter ID. Join us for Mornings on the Dove. Weekdays on the Dove TV, radio, and streaming live at thedove.us, Roku, and Apple TV. All right. Good morning to you. 27 minutes before the hours, we check in with Gary Lane there at CBN News, who is talking to an expert about the Middle East and even as it relates into the areas of prophecy. So let's check in with Gary.
President Trump says the war with Iran could be over soon. But is Iran's regime really ready to give up its apocalyptic dreams and stop its jihad against Israel in the West? Raymond Ibrahim is here to help us make sense of it. He's an expert on Islam, a historian, and an author. Right now, he's a visiting fellow at the Danube Institute, also works with the Gatestone Institute and the Middle East Forum. His most recent book is The Two Swords of Christ, 5 Centuries of War Between Islam and the Warrior Monks of Christendom. Okay, Raymond, first explain to our viewers what Shia Muslims in Iran and elsewhere in the Middle East believe about the Mahdi, the 12th Imam, how this war with Israel and the United States reinforces their ideology.
Sure, Gary. So the Mahdi is a central figure in both Sunni and Shia Islam. He's an eschatological end-time figure. And the word itself means the guided one. So both Sunnis and Shias expect him to return. And there's a minor variances about how he's seen and what he does, but they both accept him. But he's especially prominent amongst not just Shias in general, but the 12er variety, which currently dominates the regime. Iran is a 12er variety, which means this is a little complicated, but there's different kinds of Shia. Some believe the final Imam is the 5th, the 7th. The vast majority are the 12. Okay, so basically this has to do with the whole hierarchy thing, which is neither here nor there. But Bottom line is the Mahdi is an eschatological, mystical figure who's supposed to be ushered in at the end times and to bring justice and goodness. Now, on the surface, this sounds good, but of course, from an Islamic paradigm, what does that mean? Well, if he's actually bringing goodness, that means he's bringing Islam, he's bringing the Sharia worldview, and he's fighting everyone who is seen as the enemy of Islam, of course. And now what makes Iran particularly dangerous is not just because of its 12th Shia variety and the Mahdi doctrine, but it's well known that the Islamic Revolutionary Guard especially espouses this ideology. And this ideology is really rife with concepts of martyrdom and sacrifice. So as you can see, this is not the exact mentality that you would want to have weapons of mass destruction or nuclear weapons. And I think that's really what it comes down to. Of course, every country wants nuclear weapons, and I would argue Iran wants them for pragmatic, realpolitik reasons, just like the US wants it, Israel wants it, everyone wants nuclear weapons. But I do believe that this particular doctrine, which is idiosyncratic to especially Iran, makes the danger much more pronounced than, of course, it's dangerous when any country has nuclear weapons. But when you have a group whose ideology is very much centered around bringing the end times in a mystical manner, and the end times are to be ushered in when the greatest enemies of Islam are defeated, which from an Iranian perspective would be the two great Satans, of course, the United States and Israel. And then this whole concept, you're probably familiar, you've seen Ashura, where basically the Shias to commemorate the martyrdom of Hussein, whip themselves in a frenzy. Okay, so it's this sort of embattled mentality that has gone on for centuries that sees themselves as martyrs, as victims, as having to do whatever they have to do, including whatever sacrifice, in order to bring about the goodness of Islam in the person of the Mahdi.
Well, President Trump knows that. I mean, he said they cannot have a nuclear weapon because of that. So knowing they think this way, how do you then negotiate with them? How do you work deals? Can they be trusted to abide by them?
Well, this is the problem. And then there's another problem that actually compounds the first one. And again, it's almost, we can argue, particular to Shia Islam of Iran. And it's the doctrine of taqiyya. Taqiyya is this doctrine that allows Muslims to dissemble and essentially actively lie vis-a-vis the non-Muslim as required. And it has Quranic verses. One of the most primary ones is Quran 328. But what's interesting is if you argue with, and I've been in these debates before, and apologists will argue with me and say, no, it's just a Shia doctrine. And the fact is, Shias have indeed, of course, championed taqiyya. It's been very much integral to their identity, simply because they were the minority version, the minority Islam sect in the larger sect, the Sunnis. So they had more reason to dissemble around the Sunnis who would attack and kill them if they knew who they were. So this has gone on for centuries, and it's been said that the Shias are essentially, they have so internalized deception and duplicity. And I'm sorry to have to say this, and I'm not applying this to every single Iranian or even every single Shia, but I would say that it's fair to believe that the Iranian leadership, the regime, and especially, again, the Islamic Revolutionary Corps, does internalize and take on aspects of taqiyya, which essentially allow them to lie and deceive the infidel. So taken together, Mahdiism, martyrdom, sacrifice, eschatology, and then free reign to lie, yeah, I can see a strong argument to be made about not being able to trust the Iranian leadership. Because I think it's, in many ways, it's more evil and more disastrous than the physical sword that's actually killing Christians.
Yes, we're really in a spiritual battle here. Okay. Thanks for being with us, Raymond. God bless you.
You too. Thanks, Gary.
Well, there you go. I think we need to understand that that's part of the equation here. And it's Middle East. It's always been complicated. Isaac and Ishmael.
Oh,
back to that.
Yes.
From there, we have what we got going on here. So, all right, let's check out the weather with a guy that's always on top of everything.
A look at our forecast from Grange Co-op. Today in northern Oregon and southern Washington, partly sunny with a chance of showers and high temperatures near 56 for Vancouver, Portland, Wilsonville, and McMinnville, with temperatures dropping into the upper 30s tonight. Moving down the Willamette Valley with partly sunny skies and a chance of showers with highs in the mid-50s for Salem, Albany, Corvallis, and Eugene, with mid-30s and patchy frost and fog tonight. Sunny to mostly sunny skies today across central Oregon with highs near 50 in Prineville and mid-40s for Bend and Sun River. Mostly sunny in Boise, Idaho, then a chance of rain and snow and breezy in mid-40s. Along the Oregon coast, a chance of showers early, then partly sunny in mid-50s for Coos Bay and Port Orford. Sunny and breezy in Brookings and Crescent City, California with highs in the low to mid-50s. In southern Oregon, widespread frost this morning in the Rogue Valley, otherwise mostly sunny and low to mid-50s for Grants Pass, Medford, and Ashland. Sunny in Klamath Falls with a high near 49. Into northern California, widespread frost and sunny and near 53 around Wairika. Sunny skies from Redding through Chico and Sacramento with high temperatures near 67 and a gusty southwest wind this afternoon. Sunny skies across the Bay Area today with daytime highs near 71 in Santa Rosa, near 68 and breezy in Napa. San Francisco will see a high near 70 and near 70 in San Jose with a gusty northwest wind. It's a snapshot of your Thursday weather from Grange Co-op.
And on this day in 73 A.D., a dramatic, and we're going way back in history this morning, a dramatic and tragic chapter in history came to an end.
High above the Judean desert, the fortress of Masada fell to Roman forces, marking the final stand of the First Jewish-Roman War. Originally built by Herod the Great, Masada was considered nearly impossible to conquer. But after months of siege, Roman troops led by Flavius Silva constructed a massive ramp, allowing them to breach its walls. What they found inside stunned them. Rather than surrender, the Jewish defenders, known as the Sicarii, had chosen death over capture and slavery. The account recorded by historian Flavius Josephus describes a final act of defiance that would echo through history. Today, Masada remains a powerful symbol of resistance, sacrifice, and the enduring human desire for freedom. A story not just of defeat, but of conviction, remembered for nearly 2,000 years.
And you've been there.
Yep, it's if you go to Israel, you have to go to Masada. It's just one of those things you have to go to. But my advice is don't be a macho person and think you can hike up it.
You're going to climb it? Yeah. No.
There's roads, walkways and roads up there.
Okay.
But it's a long ways up. Take the tram up. Now, then you can walk down if you want.
I like that idea.
But even that, walking down can be kind of hazardous. But when you get up there and you look at this thing and you're walking around, you're getting the history of it, and you're seeing all where the places were, where the palaces were, where the food was, and all that. It's just amazing. You can walk around today and pick up pieces of pottery right off.
That stuns me.
Yeah.
Because it's like a living archaeological site there.
It is. You can walk around there.
Wow.
Yeah, it's where they had the hot baths and all that, and the fire and everything. It's all up there. So, but when you stand up there and you're getting the history of it, and then all of a sudden they say, and you see over there, you see there where that dirt comes off the mountain and kind of does this? Yeah. Can you imagine living up here year after year after year watching your enemy, bucket full of dirt through bucket full of dirt, fill that ravine with one purpose in mind, and that was to attack you?
Well, that's amazing that you say how long this took, too, because in that video we were just looking at, in this story, I was looking at that ramp, and the amount of material that had to be moved is astounding.
Millions of cubic yards.
Oh, my gosh.
Took years, and if you can imagine, you're on top of this natural moat, so to speak, with a natural moat around you, and you're on top of this mountain, and you're living in your own culture, in your own little world up there, and the enemy's coming after you, and day by day they get an inch closer and a half an inch closer. Wow. They literally took the mountain from over here and filled the gap over here and attacked them and got them.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, it is.
All right. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Like there's no
Today, become a farmer with theDove. Plant a seed, help it grow.
Your gift reaches someone who needs hope.
Don't wait, join us in this harvest.
Let's grow something eternal together.
Give today at theDove.
The 71.5 Golf Challenge arrives Saturday, May 16th with a 4-person scramble, morning and afternoon shotguns, and a 6:30 awards social. Register your team by April 1st for an early bird special. Score the team player pack for just $20 instead of $100 with the code EARLYBIRDIE. Become a sponsor and help kids across Southern Oregon. Visit 715.org or call 541-779-3275. At the 71.5 Golf Challenge, your drive saves lives.
Over time, every wall tells a story, but sometimes those stories need a fresh start. At Chris Silva Painting, we specialize in transforming indoor spaces, whether it's your family home or your business workspace. With premium paints, flexible scheduling, and expert attention to detail, we make the process simple and stress-free so you can focus on what matters most, living and working in a space you love. From bold new colors to subtle tones of sophistication, let Chris Silva Painting bring your vision to life, one wall at a time. Chris and his crew are courteous, they're efficient, organized, timely, and clean. Chris Silva Painting also offers military discounts. At Chris Silva Painting, our mission statement is to bring Christ's heart and principles to our customers and our job sites. We do that with honesty, integrity, and hard work. We don't cut corners, we paint them. CCB number 176097. Chris Silva Painting, 541-890-3960. 541-890-3960.
Ministries on the Move spotlights how God is using everyday people and organizations to bring light, love, and transformation to others through inspiring conversations and real-life stories. Join me Tuesdays and Thursdays right here on the Dove TV.
Well, welcome back. 13 minutes before the hour. We don't do this very often, but Jerry, we got a very special guest today, and I'm sure you've heard of this person. He is a Christian recording artist and American Idol finalist. Mr. Phil Stacey's with us today, and there he is.
Hey.
Hey, you got your Dove mug.
Cool.
All right.
All right.
Anyway, why is he with us?
Today.
You're doing great. Let me say to our viewers and listeners, Stacey's with us, or excuse me, Phil is with us because he's going to be here tomorrow night at Grace Point Fellowship, a special concert for Hearts with the Mission and Safe Families for Children. So good to see you. Hey, where are you? Where are we Skyping you in from?
Right now, I am in Newport with a view of the beach over here to my left, and it is gorgeous.
Okay, well, you can come up here and you can have a view of a pear tree.
Hey, I like Medford. I've gotten to sing at the Medford Armory before, and I'm excited to be coming back. It's a wonderful town, and I'm very blessed to be here.
If you've been in the Medford Armory, you're probably aware that the sound waves are probably still bouncing around in there, because that's correct. That is one of the most active rooms I've ever been to a concert in. It's amazing.
It's quite an area for a concert.
Yeah, well, I think you'll like the where you're coming this time. It's probably going to sound a little bit softer, but I wanted to ask you, you've made a big impact in Christian music since your American Idol performance. But going in, especially with your church background, going into American Idol, did you have any kind of trepidation or any anxiety going in there? Because you're kind of coming out of, our church background element and then going into more of a secular element. How did you approach that?
That's true. I was nearly 30 years old, and so it was, for me, I never expected to make it as far as I did. I missed a buddy's wedding because I was deployed with the Navy. Oh. And he told me the only way he'd forgive me is if I auditioned for American Idol.
All right.
So I went in kind of not thinking that it would amount to as much as it has, but once I got on, I realized that it was a door that God was opening for me and that he was going to use it in some capacity. And I just trusted him.
All right. When you performed in American Idol, how is the song selection made? Are you given songs? Do you choose them? And how do you approach that, especially as a guy of faith, as you're coming in and you're looking at music to perform in this secular format? How did that play out?
Yeah, that was actually very difficult. You are basically given just a list of songs. Like each week had a mentor. So, for example, one of our mentors was Tony Bennett. One of our mentors was Diana Ross. One of our mentors was John Bon Jovi. And they basically give you how many people are there. There's 6 people here. Here's 6 songs to choose from that they have pre-cleared for television broadcast. And if you don't get your choice in time, it's really tough to have really a lot of options.
So Phil, given this background, I mean, pastor, singer, American Idol, all that, how has that shaped you now, and how does it impact for your messaging for tomorrow night?
Well, I grew up in a pastor's home, and we had devotions every day, and I grew up understanding that I was here on mission, that I'm an ambassador for the kingdom of God. And so it was really just like being in the Navy. You just go through the doors that are open for you. You just obey to the best of your ability. And today it's led me to where I'm a worship pastor in Wichita, Kansas, and of course still traveling and still touring. But most of what I get to do concert-wise is like tomorrow night, where I'm putting a highlight on Hearts with a Mission, and their mission specifically with Safe Families for Children. But they do so much great work all over Oregon. I just love the organization, and so I'm glad that the platform that God's given me puts a light on another mission. And I think it's just a way for believers to see an active way that they can be involved in their community as the hands and feet of Jesus to engage in the mission of Christ. To go into the world and proclaim the good news, or as Jesus read from the prophet Isaiah, the Spirit of the Lord is upon me because He's anointed me to proclaim good news to the poor. And if that's His mission, then that gets to be our mission as well, and to show His love to our communities.
Well, I have to tell you, Hearts with a Mission is an amazing organization. I remember when it first started. We were at the old building. We helped them buy their first sheet of plywood, 4x8 plywood.
Right.
And
that's incredible.
And here they are all these years later, touching lives literally all over the state. And Hearts with a Mission and Safe Families for Children. It's a great organization. I just want to say thank you, Phil, for giving yourself and time to come here. It'll be tomorrow night at Grace Point Fellowship, so there's plenty of seating for that. Come on in. It's a free concert. It should be great. So, anything special you're going to mention tomorrow night, or you want to give it away now?
Well, we're gonna be singing. It's always a great night. These are always a good time. Everybody's always glad that they come. So if you love music, we just want you to be there. We're gonna sing together, but I'm gonna share some songs with you. Hopefully that'll bless you and touch your heart and encourage you in Christ.
All right. Good to see you, friend. God bless you. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow night. Safe travels.
God bless you guys.
And, come back up here and fish. We'll take you fishing. Jerry will take you fishing.
All right, man.
I like that.
Okay.
Okay. God bless you,
All right, Perry, Jerry, thank you.
All right, thanks.
Guys. All right, so tomorrow night, Grace Point Fellowship, right here in downtown Medford, 7 o'clock, free concert. Phil Stacy doesn't get any better than that.
Outstanding.
Good stuff all the way around. All right. I'm going to have Todd Friel with me in a few minutes.
Uh-oh.
Pray for me.
Yeah, man.
He's one of the guys you ask a question and go out and have lunch and come back.
Yeah, it's good.
So, all right. So, anyway, that's what's coming up. What do we got there? What do you got?
All right. Well, after more than a decade on the streets, one man in Missouri is getting a second chance thanks to a group of strangers who refused to walk away. Check this out.
Dan Cuthern and his dog Bentley had been living under an overpass when 5 women stepped in to help. What started as a simple fundraiser to get him into a hotel quickly grew into something much bigger. Determined to give him a real fresh start, they raised enough money to buy Dan an RV, his very first place to call home in years. And they didn't stop there. Knowing how much he loved his dog, they helped him land a job at a local doggy daycare, something he was excited to say yes to. Through it all, Dan never stopped putting Bentley first, even going without food to make sure his dog was fed. Now, with a home, a job, and a new support system, Dan says the women who helped him are no longer strangers, they're family. A powerful reminder that sometimes a few acts of kindness can truly change a life.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Isn't that nice? People chipping in together. Now, I got to add to this. Sometimes people look at a story like this and they say, that guy, he's made some bad decisions in his life. He's homeless for a reason. Is he taking advantage of you guys? Are you guys falling for and it's been told to me, and I agree with this wholeheartedly. You know what? I doubt that he's taking advantage of anybody, but I think of it when you give to somebody on the street who is sitting there and you think, if I give it to him, he's just going to go out and buy alcohol or something, is he taking advantage of me? Well, you know what? It's not a sin to be taken advantage of.
Well, I think that it's more of an act of obedience than it is looking for a result.
Absolutely. Yeah, well put.
I think that if God's calling you to do something, you do it, and the outcome belongs to Him.
Yes.
And if He tells you to go help this person and it doesn't turn out right, it wasn't a waste of time.
Right. And you could see it in this man's reaction, you know, how it genuinely affected him.
I did something the other day, and I do this. I want to be careful. I don't want to put the light on me, but I drive around, and every once in a while, I'm always mindful of homeless people and things like that. And I ask the Lord, you know, what would you have me to do?
Mm-hmm.
And so yesterday, as a matter of fact, the story would come up yesterday. The Lord said, that guy.
Really?
Yeah. So I had to go out and turn around. I had to go up and go through 2 traffic lights, turn around, come back, and then still chase the person down.
Okay.
They were walking with a cart with all their stuff on it. You know, they do.
Yeah.
And I gave him something.
Okay.
And he stopped and he said, why are you doing this? And I said, well, the Lord told me to give this to you. And he said, God bless you. I asked the Lord today for a sign if He loved me.
Oh, my goodness, Perry. That's awesome. Oh, man.
Now, the outcome belongs to God.
Yes, it was all God. Okay. Oh, my. Well, that's awesome. And you responded. That's
all it was. That's all it was, just me trying to follow the voice of the Lord. Hebrews 13, verse 8, Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. So who moved? You did. Come back to Him.
All right.
All right, there's a little fog left over. Stick around. We got some great guests.
Since 1934, Grange Co-op has been more than just a store. We've been a cornerstone of our community, owned by people like you. We proudly offer top-quality farm and ranch supplies, including our own Rogue feed, as well as workwear, Western apparel, garden essentials, and pet care products. By signing up as a Grange Rewards customer, you not only enjoy exclusive benefits like special offers and 1% back on most purchases, but you also become part of something bigger, a cooperative that you own and help shape. Join Grange Rewards today.
Applegate River Golf and RV Resort, a pristine 9-hole course alongside the Applegate River. Their clubhouse offers a golf simulator experience. The RV Resort is adjacent to the golf course with convenient pull-through parking. Applegate River Golf and RV Resort. Information at applegaterv.com.
I'm Susanna, and I contracted KA Designs to do custom cabinets throughout my house. We chose a really beautiful maple wood that really creates like a nice airy space. Everything was custom, and it was really cool because I got to literally see it come to life in person. We love to entertain, and we have a large family, so everything came together perfectly, exactly what I wanted. I highly suggest KA Designs if you're looking to design your dream house. Go check them out in their showroom. You will not be disappointed.
Mornings on the Dove covers issues affecting you.
But we also take the time to have some fun and laugh.
Sometimes that's all you can do.
And these days, we all need encouragement. Count on Mornings on the Dove to deliver just that from God's Word.
Along with the day's forecast and interesting stories from Jerry's historical archives.
So start your day with encouragement and information.
Join us for Mornings on the Dove. Weekdays on the Dove TV, radio, and streaming.
Tackling the tough issues facing America and our nation's freedom. That's Sekolo on the Dove TV.
DAs around the country finding who they want to prosecute and then determining what crime they could charge them with.
You can't believe this is the country we're living in, that this is happening.
A bold half hour hosted by ACLJ's Jordan and Logan Sekolo, taking you inside the battle of constitutional and political freedom, discussing issues that matter to you and your family.
This is just not the right precedent we want to be setting, even if we don't like Donald Trump.
This is just all-out chaos, and that's what could happen very soon.
Watch Sekolo for issues that matter to you, addressing the problems of Christian rights in the workplace, school, the marketplace, and protecting human life.
I hope this doesn't have to go all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court.
Be in the know with Sekolo. Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday only on the Dove TV.
Welcome home to the Dove TV, encouraging and informative. More at thedove.us. Welcome to Focus Today. I'm your host, Perry Atkinson. Always a joy and an experience when we have our good friend Todd Friel with us, pastor, apologist, executive director of Fortis Institute, the host of Wretched TV and radio, the author of 5 books, and the producer of over 24 Bible studies. A guy that never
You almost
sleeps.
forget the name of your program. You almost forgot the name of your own program?
Well, why? I mean, it doesn't matter when I have you on.
How are you, Perry?
This is the Todd Friel Hour, better known as Here's Todd.
No, it's 20 minutes. It just feels like an hour. Believe me, I've heard that before.
It's the same thing in your preaching too, right?
Ow. The problem is that sometimes is an hour, and that feels like days. Believe me.
You know, I had Pastor Robert Jeffress on the other day, and we were chit-chatting, and I said, Pastor Jeffress, when do you sleep? And he said, well, I sleep during my own sermons.
That's not good. Hey, as long as you brought up sermons, we're preaching through 1 Peter. I would like to share something with you that maybe would be helpful to anyone who's kind of consternated about the circumstances on our planet right now.
Yeah.
And how we respond to the nuttiness. It is my belief that the book of 1 Peter, it is not primarily about suffering. Oh, he's writing to suffering saints, those who are being persecuted. But the main thrust of his article is, in your suffering, you are to be a people who suffers well, who grows in sanctification, and submits in realms of jurisdictional authority. Now, consider that advice for a moment. He's writing to people who are like, we're scared. Nero's on the throne. It's heating up. Our religion is becoming illegal. What's going to happen to us? And notice that Peter does not give them any practical advice. He doesn't tell them what to do. He tells them what to be. Be a sanctified people. Be a submissive people. Be a people that suffers unusually well, so that you silence the mouths of evildoers, those who accuse you, so that you can proclaim his excellencies and give a reason for the hope that lies within you. In other words, in this climate, we submit, we're sanctified, and we suffer well so that the world actually gets saved. So I say the book of 1 Peter is actually about evangelism more than it is about suffering. And maybe that's a helpful word today, because if you're going through it because you're a Christian, not because you're annoying, but because you're a Christian, you can know God is using you in this to be a witness to the world, because it is his desire for those people who are actually persecuting you to get saved.
Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. We selected to talk a little bit today about Israel. I want to ask you a really off-the-wall question.
I got to go.
Hello, Todd. Earth to Todd.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you've noticed, but it's a little bit of a contentious issue these days.
Well, it really is. Have you ever been accused of being a Christian Zionist?
Don't know. What do terms mean these days? What's a Christian nationalist? What's a patriot? What's a Zionist?
Yeah.
I just try to go by what the Bible says about Israel. And I think what it says, Perry, I don't know if you'll agree or not, but I think that we can all affirm this, whether you're covenantal or dispensational. I think we can agree God still has a plan for Israel.
Yeah.
We agree on that. Now, the question is, of course, what do we do with the Abrahamic covenant promises? In Genesis chapter 12, when God said, I bless those who bless you, and it's your descendants, so it is the nation of Israel that is in view. What do we do with it? Do we have to bless Israel? It raises question. Tucker Carlson. All right, I don't know that his intentions were all that pure, but nevertheless, he raised some questions. Well, who is Israel? You know, the people that live there now, they don't even act Jewish. Some of them don't even speak the language. You've got Ashkenazi Jews. You've got different types of Jews and different heritages and lineages. So who are the Jewish people? And do we have to bless them today? It's a fair question. And I think the answer is pretty clear in the Bible. I think the answer is yes. Israel today, while it is not believing Israel, is still Israel. And I think it's pretty easy to make that case.
Okay, good questions. What is the purpose of saying that it's not?
Yeah. That's a really good question. And I would add to that also. That was bordering on snarky for you, Perry. What Bible verse says that those promises in Genesis, it's actually 12 through 17. What Bible verse says those promises are not in effect? You don't have them. Instead, you do have all kinds of verses that say, oh, they're still in God's eye. He has a plan for Israel, even when they're not being religiously faithful, even when they're not living in the land. So what's behind it, Perry? I don't know. I don't know Tucker Carlson's heart, what's motivating him to think this way. I really like Tucker Carlson. He just seems like such a pleasant sort. He'd be a riot to have dinner with. It seems he's trying to work out his newfound theology in public, and that's probably a bad idea, especially when it comes to a complex situation like what's going on in the Middle East.
Well, the reason I asked you the Christian Zionist thing, and you answered it spot on, because all these terms are out there: Christian nationalist, Christian Zionist, you get left, right, and all that. Here's the deal. It appears to me that those who don't understand the Bible and the importance of Israel and why it is the way it is, and we can talk about the people versus the real estate and the government, those are all separate issues. But the point being is, it seems like the culture that doesn't understand it, the world, is trying to trip us Christians with terminologies that you can get tangled up in and really miss the point. And if we don't understand that we are Bible-believing Christians in the Lord Jesus Christ, you can get off into these terms and all of a sudden you're in trouble. You're in big trouble, because they are nothing more than traps. My point is this: I don't know what's going on with Tucker Carlson either. I have no idea. It's a mystery to me. But he is getting some traction out there, and people are listening to this. And coming out of this is people are saying, then, why are we defending Israel? Why are we spending so much money over there? What is this really all about? I remember, I think, that one of the first books that Dr. David Jeremiah wrote about Israel, and I'll just paraphrase it. Today, Israel is about a third the size of the original real estate contract that God gave it in the beginning. And here we sit. Why are we protecting this little spot of ground over there?
Yeah, and isn't it interesting that Israel, specifically Jerusalem, continues to be the center of everyone's attention for thousands of years, even when the Jewish people did not possess the land? This might be helpful, Perry, because a lot of people say, Tucker Carlson, let's interact with his thinking, which I think, my guess about Tucker, by the way, Perry, is that he's just too new to all of this, and he sees something and he goes, but he doesn't consider everything. He just doesn't have a broad enough understanding yet. I hope he studies. I hope he goes underneath somebody to be discipled. But he asks questions like, well, okay, so Benjamin Netanyahu, his parents, they were living in Poland. Like, I'm supposed to think that he's Jewish? Okay, let's go back to the Old Testament. Consider the promises of the Mosaic covenant in Deuteronomy 28 through 30. It's the quid pro quo contract. You behave well, you get blessed. You behave poorly, you get whacked by God. And they behaved poorly. So what did God do? He displaced them. You had them going to Assyria. You had them going to Babylon, soon to be Medo-Persia. They were scattered, and yet he still called them what? His people.
His people.
His disobedient people were still his people. Furthermore, they were not believing in him. He still called them his people. When they went over to foreign lands, they started speaking a foreign language, and yet they were still considered his people. So now I've got to ask a question. Is there anything in the Bible that says they're not still his people? To the contrary, when you read Romans 9 through 11, they are still considered to be God's people. Now, they're not rightly in a relationship with him. We are in the age of the Gentiles, but the way that Paul speaks about Israel, he was willing to give up his own salvation for the sake of the salvation of whom? The Jewish people, even though they weren't acting Jewish, even though they were persecuting him, even though they were violent, even though they didn't speak the language, even though they weren't speaking in the land. So I think that it's pretty safe to say that the Jewish people today, ethnically, nationally, religiously, languagely, they're speaking Hebrew, the language has returned. there is no reason for us to think that we are not still dealing with Israel. Now, that comes back to your question, though. How are we supposed to interact with this modern day Israel? And what does it mean to bless Israel? Do we have to do everything they say? And if we do anything, if we say anything critical, that means we're not blessing Israel. I think that those are fair questions, and I think we have to answer them, but it needs to be predicated on they are indeed still Israel.
I understand the commandments for us to pray for Israel, pray for the peace of Jerusalem, pray for the people. I understand that. And I understand that there is great support for Israel among the Christian community, especially in the West. My concern is this, and I hope this question comes out right. In our support for Israel, in our support for the citizens of Israel, whether Jews, Israelis, who's ever inside that land, we have a tendency to go overboard and maybe giving them the pass on salvation through Jesus. And that concerns me because there's only one way, Jesus said. And in our fulfilling of the commandment to love them and to pray for them, are we creating an exception for them outside of salvation through Christ?
Boy, I hope not. I hope we're not losing sight of that, because salvation of sinners is a much greater priority in God's economy than it is the founding of nations, even the running of good governments. Salvation should always be in view. If somebody does not possess saving knowledge of Jesus Christ, they will not inherit the kingdom. So we shouldn't care if they're Jewish. We shouldn't care if they're Filipino. If they're not saved, we bring them the gospel.
Okay.
That is the greatest way we can bless Israel.
That's okay. So, do you think we understand modern Israel?
No.
Okay.
No, look, it's tricky because you look at it and it's like, well, they're not operating underneath the Mosaic covenant. I get that. They're a different form of government. I get that. They do. Look, Israel as a nation they're a pro-abortion nation. We can't affirm that. We can't turn a blind eye to that. So to bless Israel doesn't mean you don't criticize them. That is to misunderstand criticism that is coming from the heart. Better are the wounds of a friend than the kisses of an enemy. So to criticize when somebody is off, that isn't hateful. That isn't to not bless. That is to be loving and to bless. So we need to be calling out the things that we say, this is not biblical, this is not right. We need to be calling them to salvation. But that does not mean we're not blessing them. It means we are blessing them. And even when we don't affirm what they are doing with every single military move, that doesn't mean we are contra Israel.
Does the seed of Abraham or the Abrahamic covenant go beyond the life of Christ?
That's excellent question. Well, what is the Abrahamic covenant? It is threefold. Yes, it is a seed, singular, said Paul to the Galatians. It's a singular seed. That's Jesus. But wait a second. When you read Genesis 15 through 17, there are other promises, land and a people, the Jews. And this covenant was cut by God while Abraham was sound asleep. In other words, this was not a joint contract. This was God making a promise. I'm going to send a seed. You're going to be in the land. You are a nation forever. And so, yes, Jesus fulfilled the seed promise, but the land and the nation promise, again, I would ask, what Bible verse says that those aspects of the Abrahamic covenant go away? In fact, I think you can argue from the Old Testament, they were constantly in view. Even as the Jewish people were rebelling against God, they were putting up worship centers of Baal and Asherah. He was still calling them his people. He was still, even though he dispersed them, called them back. Why? Because he was being faithful to the Abrahamic covenant. When you read the book of Esther and you go, they don't even really mention God. What's that all about? It's God saving the nation so that there could be a seed. Why? Because even though they were being very naughty, he still was upholding his promise. A land, a nation, and a seed. Yes, the seed has been fulfilled in Christ, but I believe the land and the nation promise is still in effect.
All right, let me take a quick break here. I got some more questions. FortisInstitute.org. That's Todd's main website for all the things they do and all the programs they produce. And you can see Transformed. You can see Wretched TV, Road Trip to Truth. What's your new men ones? We're carrying it.
We got a number of them. Gentlemen, Walk Like a Man, Play the Man.
Yeah, we got all those. You're seeing here on the Dove TV network. Gosh. We should charge it, but we're not going to do that because we love you. We'll be right back.
Applegate River Golf and RV Resort, a pristine 9-hole course alongside the Applegate River. Their clubhouse offers a golf simulator experience. The RV Resort is adjacent to the golf course with convenient pull-through parking. Applegate River Golf and RV Resort. Information at applegaterv.com.
Hi, I'm the SOS Alarm guy, here to tell you about a great deal. SOS Alarm will not only beat any internet deal, but will install the system too. So burglars, beware. SOS Alarm for security and beyond.
At Sweet Tea Express, we've got you covered. Order at the counter and our friendly service staff will do the rest. Breakfast served daily until 2 p.m. Breakfast burritos, biscuits and gravy, skillets, omelets, and more. Sweet Tea Express. Don't get caught hungry.
Hi, I'm Ryan Robertson, host of a brand new program on the Dove, Ministries on the Move. Ministries on the Move spotlights the incredible work of how God is using everyday people and organizations, putting their faith into action, serving the hurting, strengthening families, and sharing the hope of the gospel in practical ways. Be inspired and discover these Ministries on the Move. Tuesdays and Thursdays at 4 p.m., right here on the Dove TV. Encouraging and informative. More at thedove.us.
Mornings on the Dove covers issues affecting you.
But we also take the time to have some fun and laugh.
Sometimes that's all you can do.
And these days, we all need encouragement. Count on Mornings on the Dove to deliver just that from God's Word.
Along with the day's forecast and interesting stories from Jerry's historical archives.
So start your day with encouragement and information.
Join us for Mornings on the Dove. Weekdays on the Dove TV, radio, and streaming.
At Sweet Tea Express, we've got you covered. Order at the counter and our friendly service staff will do the rest. Breakfast served daily until 2 p.m. Breakfast burritos, biscuits and gravy, skillets, omelets, and more. Sweet Tea Express. Don't get caught hungry.
All right, welcome back. Todd Friel's with us, Executive Director of Fortis Institute, host of Wretched TV. We're talking about Israel. A couple more questions there before I kind of switch things. By the way, there's a picture of his landing page, fortisinstitute.org. Amazing resources there, and a lot of those programs you see on the Dove Television Network. If the covenant...
You forgot to mention they're all free, Perry. Everything is free on the website.
I know. You guys are wonderful. Check it out. You guys are wonderful. If the Abrahamic covenant and the seed was fulfilled in the life of Christ, where does that leave us today?
No, it leaves us rejoicing, first of all, that the promise was fulfilled, the Messiah was sent. By the way, did you catch Joy Behar on The View? Why I did, I don't know. She said, Jesus didn't go around claiming that he was the Messiah. That's too narcissistic. Well, unless, of course, you are the Messiah. But that aside, yes, he did. He was constantly claiming divinity. He was with the woman at the well in Samaria that he was the Messiah. So Joy could use some theology lessons. That's probably an obvious statement to make. Where does it leave us that we have the seed we should be proclaiming to Jewish people? The promise has been fulfilled in Jesus Christ. We should be friendly toward Jewish people. Look, you can't argue it. How is it that the Jewish people and this land, the zip code in Israel, has been so much in the focus of world attention for centuries, for millennia now? So I think that we rejoice we got the seed and we proclaim them to the Jewish people.
What do you think of America finally and forcefully and physically behind Israel today, unlike what's ever been since 1948?
Yeah. I don't get into the political stuff so much, Perry, honestly.
No.
Because I have no idea what's going on in Washington, what's motivating this, what the allies are, what the deals are that are being cut. I think that as we view this situation over in Israel and with Iran, I think that I think just war principle is probably more needed now than ever. Are we supporting something that is just? Thomas Aquinas, he laid out about 7 principles. Do these meet those criteria? If they do not, then as Christians, we have to say to our government, hey, that isn't just. That isn't right. God does not like to have unjust wars. By the way, did you see the Pope just tweeted that that God is never like in favor of war. Has he unhitched the Old Testament? God sent the Jewish people off to war regularly. David was a warrior king. Furthermore, Jesus is coming back as a warrior. Nevertheless, we see war. We don't like it. It's not like something we celebrate, but it is something that God, I don't want to say favors, but it is a part of the fall. And if it is just, it is right because it has a just cause. So we need to determine, is this whatever they're calling it, skirmish in Iran, indeed just? If it is, we can support it. If it isn't, we can say no. And that does not mean we're not blessing Israel. It means that we're trying to act justly.
Well, it's got the whole world on tilt right now.
Yeah. Have you filled up your gas tank lately?
Yeah.
$90, Harry, $90. Okay, I grant it. I'd let it just go down like to a teaspoon of gas in my car. $90
isn't the only one.
I think we need to
prepare
make American
for Joy
gas
Behar
affordable.
next on Red.
Okay, we got something else going on there.
American gas affordable. See what I did? That's MAGA.
Yeah. Too much going on here.
Welcome
to you. I see a note here where you have reviewed the movie A Great Awakening.
Wow.
What
have you not gone yet?
What drew you there? No, I haven't. What drew you there?
If you're allergic to cackling, you might want to tune away for a minute or two.
Putting words into the mouth. Do I
Go
have words
serve
coming
your
out of me?
Radio.
Wow. That's really, I don't know who's doing that or what's causing that.
I don't either. You got somebody else going on there?
It could be.
It's on what?
I hope not.
For Joy.
Oh, it's on your it's on our connection.
Aha.
Right.
Something's bleeding through. Well, let's hope that stops for a moment. I saw the trailer, and it doesn't have anybody putting words into the mouth of Jesus. I wouldn't choose to do that myself. It's not making up extra details. It's the historical tale of the relationship between George Whitefield and Benjamin Franklin.
I'm interrupting
George
the beginning
Whitefield
of
was the Great Awakening guy. George Whitefield was preaching thunderously throughout the 18th century. He was instrumental in the Revolutionary War in that he was preaching genuine liberty to the captives. He gave the American people a mind of Christ. And so he was a big historical figure. I saw the trailer, Perry, and I was like, okay, I'll give it a go. Oh, it's so good. He preaches thunderously. It shows his conversion. It shows his relationship with a deist named Ben Franklin. He's proclaiming the gospel in the streets. People are getting saved in the mines. It is a magnificent story. So I commend it wholeheartedly.
Wow. Looking at time here. I know you do a lot of work on college campuses. How's it going? And what do you think the attitude is? There a change in college today?
Oh, you know what? That's just so weird. Okay. I was just looking at this during the break. This is a buddy of mine. He's a full-time evangelist in Australia. Because I've been saying on Wretched Radio, y'all, it's really easy on the campuses to witness to people because they want to talk. Well, he's a full-time evangelist. He goes to university campuses all the time, and he's like, you're absolutely right. Even in Australia, particularly the demographic of young men, they are tired of being told that they're too masculine. They're tired of being told you're the reason for all of the problems. You're an oppressor. You're terrible. Become more like a girl. And they've had it and they want truth. So if you can go to a university campus because you love those kids and you want to give them some great news and some direction in life, I'm telling you, they will talk to you for a long time.
So what do you think this change of thinking is? I mean, what
There's a lot of, I think there's a lot of things, Perry. I think a lot of it is, okay, the aforementioned, the toxic masculinity lie, that just because you're a boy means you're bad. I think that because of the stymieing of the economy, the inability to go get a house, to advance in a career, the dating thing is all busted these days because of the internet, pornography, all of those, and culture saying marriage is terrible, having kids is dangerous. They're looking at their parents, they're looking at that former generation, and they're going, "We'd like that. This has failed. The whole system, the worldview, post-modernity has infected them." And they know it, and they're like, something is off here. Could somebody please tell me the truth? So for all of those reasons, they are looking for truth. You got to go lovingly because you care about them. And I'm telling you, you can sit down next to any university student and talk to them for a long time because they are groping for truth.
That's wonderful. So what are you working on these days? What's in the pipeline?
Oh, Perry, we've got some stuff coming up. Okay, my book comes out in September and October, HarperCollins. It's called Go Serve Your King. That's coming out. We're adding 2 new podcasts. Dr. Jason Lyle, formerly of Answers in Genesis. My new podcast is going to be coming out. We're adding another fellow very, very soon. And a big announcement I can't tell you about, or somebody in marketing would shoot me.
Okay, well, we need you around, so we don't want that to happen. Are you doing any more new Wretched TVs?
Oh yeah, we've probably got about 120 shows in the can that we haven't released yet. Yeah, they're just different. A lot of them, it's either going to be on-campus stuff or with other Christians where we talk to them. And that's another thing we got coming up. You're going to be seeing me interacting with some people that you maybe are interested in hearing and understanding what they believe about God. I'm going to be talking to them. It's going to be a new series.
Good. Look forward to it. All right, FortisInstitute.org. That's Todd's website. Check out the books there and all the features there. Everything there is free. And there's a lot of resources there. FortisInstitute.org. Good to see you, buddy. As always.
Guys at Dove, so grateful for y'all. Stay faithful.
Thank you. God bless you, pal. See you soon.
Today, become a farmer with the Dove. Plant a seed, help it grow.
Your gift reaches someone who needs hope.
Don't wait. Join us in this harvest.
Let's grow something eternal together.
Give today at the Dove.
The 71.5 Golf Challenge arrives Saturday, May 16th with a 4-person scramble, morning and afternoon shotguns, and a 6:30 awards social. Register your team by April 1st for an early bird special. Score the team player pack for just $20 instead of $100 with the code EARLYBIRDIE. Become a sponsor and help kids across Southern Oregon. Visit 715.org or call 541-779-3275. At the 71.5 Golf Challenge, your drive saves lives. Do events in the world leave you confused and scratching your head? A world where up is down and down is up.
I'm Perry Atkinson. Mornings on the Dove knows how you feel. We're here to offer God's hope and encouragement and to help you to sort it all out.
And I'm Jerry Bilden. Mornings on the Dove alerts you to issues and events the mainstream media would rather you not know or know the truth.
A lot in the news today, some movement around in the Middle East, common sense discussions on today's headlines, and rational perspective on what's really going on.
That will leave you better informed and encouraged by the gospel.
In this upside-down world, there's one place you can trust to get it straight.
Check into Mornings on the Dove each day to find out what's really going on and to be encouraged.
Mornings on the Dove, weekdays from 6 to 8 a.m. on the Dove TV and radio. Streaming online at thedove.us, Roku, and Apple TV. The Dove, encouraging and informative.
Season is Shine, a new inspiring program for women. Through meaningful and relatable conversations, we'll help you discover God's purpose in every season, empowering you to shine. Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays at 4 p.m. on the Dove TV.
Well, welcome back, and always an honor when we have time to sit down with our good friend Dr. Gene Getz. He's the chief editor of the Life Essential Study Bible. I have that right here. And if you don't know what this is, let me tell you, it's one of the great resources of our day. From Genesis all the way through the end of the book of Revelation, Dr. Getz, through the years, has sat down and put QR codes throughout this entire Bible, over 1,500 of them. And when you run your QR reader over one of those QR codes, whether it's on your phone or your tablet, he pops up, and for the next several minutes, there's a video of him there literally walking you through, teaching you through that portion of Scripture. I do know that these Bibles are available in a lot of the local bookstores, or you can go online at BiblePrinciples.org. There's a picture of the landing site. Or you can download the app, and you can have it right there on your phone. An amazing resource. And I was at the City Square the other day, Gene, and better known as Costco. And a lady came up to me and just said, "Thank you, thank you, thank you. I finally bought my Life Essential Study Bible. I can't put it down." So.
Oh, hey, that's great.
That's wonderful. Good to see you, friend. How are you?
Way, doing great.
Good.
Doing really great.
Well, we want to go over to the Gospel of Luke today, and you're dealing with the ministry of compassion. This is a great passage and a great attitude adjuster. Walk us through this principle.
Well, I've called the principle Ministry of Compassion, and the principle reads, in representing the Lord Jesus Christ, we're to always be motivated by love and compassion. And the basic scriptural passage here, Perry, is that Jesus is on the way to Jerusalem, and he is going through Samaria, and he sends Peter and John ahead to prepare for them to come to a particular city. It's not mentioned in Samaria. And the Samaritans rejected Jesus, and James and John, of course, at this point in their immaturity, wants to bring fire down from heaven to destroy them, probably thinking they're Elijah, on Mount Carmel. And Jesus rebukes them. And that's basically the essence of that particular story. And these two guys had to learn a great deal about why Jesus came and to bring the message of compassion and hope. And of course, their lives were dramatically changed when the Holy Spirit came and the church was born. And of course, Jesus called these two guys the sons of thunder. And James, by the way, was the first one to give his life as a martyr for the cause of Jesus Christ. So, we've got a tremendous principle here in terms of having compassion towards those who are unsaved. Regardless of the circumstances, we need to have compassion, because that's why Jesus Christ came.
Wow, this is big, because I think in this highly contentious anxiety world and culture in which we live, we just quickly categorize people and write them off. I don't know if we understand that we're called to compassion in the face of anger and frustration, not going my way, let's just write these people off. Is it a virtue that we've lost, you think?
Well, I think we need to really understand the difference between differentiating between our responsibility as believers, our attitude towards the unsaved, regardless of their behaviors, and the responsibility, differentiate between government responsibility to deal with evil that's in the world. And I think we get confused about that. For example, I think we have a couple of current illustrations. Erica Kirk, didn't attend an event recently because her life was threatened. Mm-hmm. And she took that very seriously. And there are people who hate her, absolutely, and are saying horrible things about her. But the fact of the matter is, based at least on past behavior, she's not going to hate these people. She's going to look to the government to protect her, the security and so forth. But at the same time, we are to love our enemies. We're always to love our enemies, regardless of the situation. I think another illustration is the war in Iran. Jesus said that we're to turn the other cheek. But when it comes to a situation like this, you turn the other cheek, they'll develop a nuclear bomb and destroy us. So you have this interesting balance. In Romans, for example, Jesus said, don't render evil for evil. But then he immediately goes right into Romans, and he says, if you live by the sword, you're going to die by the sword. And there, the context is government. And regardless of what has to be done to deal with evil in this world, as believers, we're never to lose our compassion for those in Iran who want to destroy us. We've got to have that balance, and I think it's easy to lose that balance. Does that make sense?
Oh, it makes total sense. I think often that compassion and patience are twins.
Right.
You can almost apply this to people who, I think when somebody comes to Christ, we think now they're full-born Christians, when really it's the beginning of the sanctification process. And do we have the patience and the compassion to understand they're going to continue to make mistakes? We all do, but they're not perfectly reborn. You know what I'm saying? Do we have the compassion and the patience to walk alongside of them and help them grow?
Right, and I agree with that. And I think that, it's a very difficult thing to see this balance. In fact, I listened to a little segment when the vice president came and he was involved in that presentation, in that event where Erica didn't come because her life was threatened. And they were having this discussion, and I think that the vice president's language did not indicate compassion towards enemies. I think you've got a problem there between how the world sees these individuals who are evil, and we have to be very, very careful in relationship as to how we describe them. We need to say the law has to be fulfilled. Evil has to be dealt with. The government has established boundaries to take care of us. It's scriptural. But in our approach to these unbelievers, we've got to always communicate with hearts of compassion. And I would say that would be true of even those who are evil in relationship to the Iranian regime. What the government is doing in dealing with that is not evil. It's dealing with evil according to God's plan. But with our attitude as believers, we should pray for them. We should have compassion towards them, regardless of how evil they are and what they do in taking the lives of innocent people. Yeah, there's righteous anger, obviously. But how do we balance that, Perry, between righteous anger and having God's compassion towards those who are lost and who are evil?
Well, you're hitting.
You can tell I'm struggling a little bit with it myself.
Well, you're struggling with it. We all struggle with it. I think at times the line gets really blurred because I think our anger and frustration flares up. And but for the grace of God, there goes I. I mean, if we don't look at this, that if God didn't intervene in our life when we were sinners at the level before our new birth, then you lose that compassion. I think
that's right, and
your own salvation.
Paul dealt with that.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say our own conversion ought to create the compassion for people.
Well, in Titus, Paul deals with this whole concept that you've just talked about, and that is that because of God's grace, we're saved, and he says because of God's mercy in our lives, we ought to have more mercy towards those who are lost. But for God's grace, there goes I, as you said. Mm-hmm. And Paul really deals with that in Titus. So you have this relationship with unbelievers where we're to demonstrate this compassion, which is universal, regardless of the situation. But at the same time, we have to realize that God has established government, and it's not going to operate perfectly, but God has established government to deal with evil. And you see that in Romans, as I said earlier. Mm-hmm. You know, right there in Romans 12, vengeance is mine, I'll repay, say the Lord. But then he goes right into Romans chapter 13 and deals with government responsibility to protect us from evil. And so you have that balance in Scripture.
I'm reminded the Scripture in Proverbs says a soft answer turns away wrath. And that means we should step back when we get all excited and anxious and worked up because your next move may not be a move of compassion and could really ruin your testimony. So
that's right. I agree wholeheartedly. And so the principle really that grows out of this passage is, I'll just state it, in representing the Lord Jesus Christ, we're to always be motivated by love and compassion.
Yeah.
And of course, as I read that, there's also tough love. And that's not contradictory to love. You can be compassionate and exercise tough love as well.
Beautifully said. Well, let me say, folks, if you have this Bible, if you don't, you'll see that this is all highlighted there in blue with the QR code up here in the corner. And if you have a QR reader on your phone or on your tablet, you run that over there. And Dr. Getz pops up in this video, and we'll walk you through this. And there's over 1,500 of these from Genesis to Revelation. So get yourself a Life Essential Study Bible online at BiblePrinciples.org, or I do know that the local bookstores here in our own backyard carry them. And perhaps wherever you're seeing or watching the Dove today, your local bookstore has them as well. If not, go to BiblePrinciples.org. Gene, as always, a joy to see you, friend. You're looking really good.
Well, thank you. And let me just simply say in closing, Perry, there's another thing we need to say, and that is the will of God is we pray for our government authorities and what's happening in this situation. That's where we've got to start as Christians.
Yeah. Yeah. Amen. Thank you, brother. Good to see you.
God bless you.
Okay, pal. Good to see you. Bye-bye.
When life feels heavy, your body feels it, your mind feels it. That is why I created Organic Elements Wellness Spa, a place where wellness is not a luxury, it's a way of life. Step into our wellness lounge with a Himalayan salt room, infrared sauna, steam room, and invigorating cold plunge. Restore your nervous system, detox your body, and clear your mind. Then experience customized massage, advanced skin therapies, and result-driven facials, all designed to help you look as good as you feel. There's nothing else like this in Southern Oregon. This is your space to heal, to reset, to glow. Call today to book your private wellness party for up to 15 guests or surprise someone special with a gift certificate.
Visit Organic Elements Wellness Spa on East Main Street in Medford. Book online at organicelements.com. Wellness is wholeness. Voted best of Southern Oregon.
This week on the John Ankerberg Show, we'll talk about the brave people that are bringing the gospel of Jesus Christ to their people using audio Bibles.
God is working through these audio Bibles. People hear the Word of God, and God the Holy Spirit uses that Word to pierce their heart. I am impressed with how powerful the Word of God is.
Join me for the John Ankerberg Show right here on the Dove TV. It'll be encouraging and informative.
Okay, welcome back, and it's been quite a while, but always an honor to have back with us fellow broadcaster Jeff Crouere is with us, a veteran political commentator, columnist, and host of the long-running Ringside Politics radio and TV program. He's the president and general manager of WGSO Radio in New Orleans and is nationally syndicated voice of the Real America's Voice. He's also the author of a book, America's Last Stand. You can check that out. There's a picture of the cover of the book. And you can go to Crouere.net. That's CROUERE.net. And there's the picture of the landing page. Jeff, good to see you, friend. How are you, buddy?
Hey, Perry. Good to be with you.
Thank you. How's things going in your radio land?
Well, you know, there's a session going on down here in Louisiana. We always got to keep an eye on the politicians. And the new mayor in New Orleans is dealing with a $220 million budget deficit because Democrats can't control their spending. And then, of course, been observing what's going on nationally, internationally. It's just crazy. Never a dull day, Perry.
I know. Hey, so kind of a 30,000-foot view question to start things off, Jeff. How do you think things will eventually end up in Iran?
I think, we're going to be successful. I mean, we've already been successful, obviously militarily, a stunning success. I think this blockade is being very detrimental to this regime. And I think it's either going to be, reality is going to sink in and they're going to work out a deal, or we're going to have to continue this. So, we'll see what happens with the next round of talks. But to me, it looks like it's been a big success, and they've been decimated. They're no longer a threat to the region after what we've done to their Air Force, their Navy, their nuclear materials underneath tons of rubble. So we'll see where it goes. I think the blockade was a brilliant move by the president.
From what I understand, there's no way we could leave enriched uranium there. It has to be dealt with. I mean, that's kind of the core of the red line that's being drawn in the sand here, so to speak. Does that suggest boots on the ground?
It does. I mean, if that's going to be the plan, I mean, the president at one time had said he's just going to leave it underneath all the rubble, and if they try to access it, we'll take them out because we'll have eyes on it. But if we're going to be removing it, it's going to be from the people that I've interviewed, Perry, a very detailed, a very extensive, time-consuming, dangerous operation. Mm-hmm. It's going to definitely require boots on the ground, definitely require a lot of people. I've heard thousands of people would have to be involved.
The ceasefire is holding. How fragile is it?
Very fragile, although I think the Iranians, want to come to the table, want to make a deal. I think they've got the public where they talk all this craziness, and then behind the scenes, I think they're hoping, praying for a deal, trying to reach out to the administration. So I would think there's going to be another round very soon. And Pakistan has sort of taken a leadership role in trying to bring the two sides together. And I found it interesting that J.D. Vance was leading it, Perry. I think he's considered maybe more of America First type of a member of the administration, not as gung-ho for the military operations. So the Iranians might find him somewhat easier to deal with. But obviously, they did not agree to our demands the first time, and it was, they broke up. But the ceasefire is in effect till April 22nd. So we've got a few more days where hopefully we can get negotiations going again. Personally, I would like to see this come to an end soon because we've got a lot of issues here in this country we need to deal with. And we've got midterm elections looming in just a few months. And those are critical elections, Perry.
I want to come back to that. Just couple more quick questions here. If Iran tries to attempt to get involved in the Straits again, maybe even fire on a ship, what do you think the outcome of that would be?
Not very good for them. I mean, I think we've got naval superiority. I mean, all they've got are very small vessels that still remain. And of course, their stockpile of missiles and drones have been depleted. They do have, obviously, they have some left. But look at what's happened so far. I mean, they have not tried to attack any of our ships that are enforcing this blockade. They realize that we've got more troops going to the region. So, I mean, I think they're in a very difficult situation, and I don't think they're going to try to test President Trump. I think he's pretty clear how he believes this has to go. And looks like at least some of the Iranian leadership has gotten the message. Now, he keeps saying that we have a better group of leaders in Iran now, that the old regime was decimated and killed. I mean, that remains to be seen. I mean, in fact, the new Ayatollah has yet to be seen.
What do you think the impact is? I mean, we're hearing bits and pieces of it. This is becoming a significant issue with China as well, the shutting down of the strait. The president's heading over there for a state visit in May. Europe is saying, hey, go, Mr. President, we're behind you, which is the first positive thing we've seen from them in a while. But what do you think the overall impact is on China right now?
I think China's been tremendously weakened by what's happened in Venezuela and what's happened in Iran. Those were two great sources for oil for China, and they're very dependent. So I know they're hurting. I know that they're weakened. Obviously, they've got designs on Taiwan. Maybe they're rethinking that, Perry. And I would think that President Trump goes into that meeting in a few weeks in a very strong position. And I would think that the Chinese are behind the scenes working very hard to try to bring this thing to a close. They're pushing for peace because they know the longer this goes on, the longer they're going to be suffering. So this has been one of the, I think, positive developments here, the weakened position of China.
When you see the big picture here and you look at it 30,000-foot view, you wonder, was it strategic on behalf of the president, or was it just somewhat fell into place that first it was Venezuela impacting that whole region and oil to China, Cuba, which probably is going to fall any moment now, hopefully into our hands, and then Iran. I mean, you couldn't look at the sequence any better. Was it strategic?
I think it was. I mean, I think he's very strategic. And let's not forget Greenland. I mean, that is a very important area to the president, and that's one of the reasons we have disagreements with NATO. So, I mean, in the past, we've been so focused on Europe and NATO. I think this president has a much different view, and I think it's better for the security of our nation. And Venezuela now as a friend, I mean, my goodness, how positive is that? Taking out all these ships that are bringing in drugs to our country. I mean, we're knocking them out of the Pacific, out of the, whatever water, Caribbean, they're getting destroyed. So that's a positive. And then if this Middle East situation can continue to go in this direction and we move towards peace, that to me is another tremendous achievement. The Abraham Accords can be extended, hopefully, and get more nations on board with diplomatic relations with Israel. So, of course, that's very optimistic, but I think what the president has done is a masterstroke. I really do. And I do think we have to reevaluate our relationship with Europe.
To the midterms, at what point does $5 gas and $8, $9 diesel catch up with them?
Oh, I mean, it's already caught up with the president's approval numbers that are down. And obviously, if the election were held today, Republicans would lose both the Senate and the House. I mean, I just read the Cook political report that shows 4 more seats trending toward the Democrats. So Republicans have a 53-47 margin in the Senate. They've got like a 2 or 3 seat margin in the House, depending on, you've got one independent that caucuses with Republicans. So you got a few special elections coming up. So it is a fluid situation, but right now, Democrats are in line to win one, possibly both houses. Historically, the party out of power, which the Democrats are right now, win about 27 seats in the House in a midterm election. So that's the average. And if we want to try to change that, Republicans, we're going to need to see much better economic conditions when people go to the polls in 7 months.
Okay. You think that's possible?
I do. If this war can wrap up, once we start, getting the focus back on domestic issues, I think the price of oil is going to go down pretty rapidly, and I think it's going to translate at the pumps. And that's what I think is really hurting right now. Gasoline prices are obviously much higher than they were before the war started.
Well, this is all interesting. In the meantime, we'll see. Again, everybody said we'll see how it plays out, and that is the bottom line. I don't know. Do you think they'll get together this weekend or not in Pakistan?
I sort of think they will, because I think it's something the Iranians want, and I think we're willing to talk. So I sort of think there will be another round because, of course, the deadline is the 22nd when the ceasefire is going to end. So they are hurting. I mean, this has been a tremendous success militarily for Israel and, of course, the United States. And then you got to also mention what's going on in Lebanon and Hezbollah being decimated as well. So, and then Hamas was after October 7th, taken down several notches. So that's better for the security of Israel, that's for sure.
One other quick question, Jeff, and you mentioned it briefly. Our friends in Europe, NATO in particular, now you got France and Spain that's really been kind of ugly here. Do you think we're out of NATO in the long run?
That's my ancestral homeland right there, Perry. I mean, Cruyere, I'm French on both sides. I hate to see it, but I mean, they have been no help. I mean, they have been, we're always there for Europe, Perry. We're always there. Ukraine, I mean, Kosovo, we're always there to help. And when we needed them, they're never there. So I think the president's going to reevaluate it. We have 84,000 troops. We have 31 military bases. We're the largest contributor to NATO. I think it's in our best interest to reevaluate the whole thing. And we need to put our interests first and not Europe. And Europe's been, I think, taking advantage of us for a long time. Look, they've got a socialist bunch of countries over there. They don't have to provide for their defense. They've been riding off our coattails, and we've been doing all the heavy lifting, and they've been able to have cradle-to-grave socialism because, we're handling their military defense. So it's got to change.
If we were to pull out of France and Spain with our bases there, that'd be fairly significant.
That would. I mean, that'd be a real message. And I think Macron might not like that, but I think the socialist leadership in Spain would love it.
Yeah.
Because they're very, very antagonistic toward the United States right now. I mean, they wouldn't even let us access our bases in those countries for the operations in Iran. I mean, that's unforgivable.
Unforgivable. Jeff, good to see you. Let's stay connected. I'm so sorry it's been so long. Let me sure to our viewers and listeners check out his website, Cruyere.net. That's CROUERE.net. There's a picture of his landing page. God bless you, friend. Let's stay connected.
Okay. Thank you, Perry.
See ya.
Take care.
Mornings on the Dove covers important issues,
but we also take the time to have some fun.
Along with encouragement, the day's forecast, and Jerry's Day in history.
So start your day with encouragement and information.
Join us weekday mornings on the Dove.
Buying or selling a home can be stressful. It's one of the biggest decisions you'll make in your lifetime. That's why it's important to work with someone you trust.